Arc Dream presents Delta Green, The Garden, Part 2. Actual play of a Delta Green scenario written and GM'd by Adam Scott Glancy. Featuring Kevin Ham of the Green Box Podcast, Frank Fry, Timothy Duchesne, and Shane Ivey of Arc Dream Publishing.
So anyways, you get your critical success. You do in fact see a Japanese flag flying over that the huts on the tip of the island. It's the tip closest to the landward side, not the seaward side. You can see you can see guys wandering around that island with long arms.
How many?
With the critical success, you count something like 20 guys. And some of them are wandering around with their, shirts off. They're stripped to the waist because it's 1,000 degrees. But plenty of them, are still wearing their blue jackets, from their...
Yeah, just one thing, if I might note. They wouldn't be blue. They would be khaki.
These guys aren't landing party. They're wearing naval uniforms from the 20s, which have
They would be either white or khaki for this kind of weather.
That's a good point. The blue stuff was what you wear in Japan because Japan is fucking cold.
Yeah.
It's a land of snow.
And in fact, the blue uniform, I think, was made of wool. It was a winter uniform.
Oh, then I'm glad I corrected that prior to publication because that had escaped me. Having found some Japanese uniforms from the period, I'm like, okay, this must be it. But yeah, they would probably be in their whites.
Have a tropical uniform of some kind.
Or at least, or their khakis or something. But yeah, I suppose the blue ones.
Probably whites if they're sailors. If they're Japanese Navy, they'll be...
Then they're probably wearing white. It's dingy. Their whites are relatively dingy.
Oh, yeah.
But you can see, because they're Japanese, they've hung laundry lines and are washing their clothes because, again, cleanliness is next to, Japaneseness. This is, they didn't have bathtubs when we were, picking lice off each other for nothing, There's the camp over there. There are natives moving in and out of amongst the men with rifles. There are locals you can spot out with that critical success. Nobody seems to be flogging anyone with bullwhips that get them to do stuff. The natives the Kosraeans are going about their business, and the Japanese are they are. You can see some guys helping with the fishing nets, and you can see some guys who look like they're working together with the locals to build a catamaran.
Does I guess I'll ask the officer. Is there any kind of a, semaphore signals we could send back and forth to communicate with them? Or do they have a wireless antenna up over there?
No. But at this point in the jungle, you can see the damn wireless antenna down in the compound. It's a couple hundred feet tall.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious. Not the least of which because it, and it is a, what do you call it, a short, I think it is I guess it'd have to be a shortwave transmitter at this point to have any kind of serious range. Not the least of which because it's down in this compound, it's not tall in the mountains around it. There is options for semaphore. The lieutenant does have in his gear one signal lamp with battery. It would be much easier to use it at night. And attempt to signal them. Of course, while he does know his Morse, the question is, does he know his Morse in Japanese? He speaks Japanese.
I think we assume they know English.
Yeah. I'm sure that between his knowledge of Morse and his knowledge of Japanese, he can figure out the right thing to signal if Morse has if there's more than one language for Morse. I don't know if there's a Slavic Cyrillic alphabet version of Morse, or what.
That'd be worth finding out.
So you can tell me to shove it because this is a situation where I did this. I was a signalman for the Coast Guard when I was in the Coast Guard as a side job. So I know semaphore, or used to know semaphore and Morse and flag and stuff. So if you haven't written this in the scenario, tell me to shove it. But
No.
I'm happy to provide the intel for the manuscript. But so if the lieutenant's a navigator and they had skills for flashing light, then they would also probably have semaphore, which you could even do with sticks and bits of fabric, and that would probably almost always be the. Everyone who's trained in that would know.
Flags are
would know it in English.
Okay.
And they would be translated from English to on their side.
Okay.
So assuming someone over there also is fluent or knows how to communicate, we could talk during the day, I think.
The signal lamp. The signal lamp is more like an Aldous lamp.
Yeah.
But with a very short-lived battery on it.
Mm-hmm. Because that also gives us away. I'm not sure we want to.
By the way,
sort of standing there with some flags.
Well, I'm saying like communicating with the island gives us away a little bit, so maybe we want to save that till we need it.
I was going to say, I believe the proper word for Japanese writing and letters is kanji.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lieutenant would rather poke around in their stuff before signaling to them because he's a sneaky bastard.
All right. So does that mean wait till nightfall? Because, I mean, if we're going to go out there right now, we're only 200 feet away from them. It's not like they're going to miss us.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, in that case, don't anybody fart.
Yeah, it's literally like, diagonal across that square. It's maybe.
Wait a minute. Where are all these bodies?
Do we see them as we're coming over the ridge?
Once you're coming over the ridge, go ahead and give me a second. Well, let's go with forget that and make sure we just go with the one awareness for the entire situation because you're looking down on the two sides. You can pick out that there are a bunch of guys. They're easy to see because as we've just changed their uniforms to white, so they're much easier to see. There is this big compound, and basically what the Japanese compound is a ring of buildings. It's just a squared off area with this relatively light looking fence around it, not razor wire topped with double enclosure and guard dogs in between, but they've got this fence around it, probably because they're just as racist as any other industrialized society and think they have to keep the Kosraeans from stealing from them, so they put a fence around the place. There are buildings that look like they're all one story like bungalows. There's some stuff that looks like they could be officers' quarters. There's buildings that look like they could be long barracks. There is a couple buildings that are blown down around a hole in the ground that is way far away from the actual detonation spot. Is far from the camp, and it was outside the wire, so to speak. But essentially, there are these very large buildings that look like warehouses. They're on the south side, I guess, of the compound. The north side looks like it's officers' billets and stuff. There's buildings that look like they're possibly administrative buildings. One of them has the wireless tower next to it. There's an exterior building next to it that maybe you can see what look like maybe drums next to it for fueling a generator, for running the wireless. That's basically how the place is shaped. It's this square compound laid out in a leveled area. In the middle of it is sort of almost like a parade exercise field. And the Japanese would have been at this time. Everyone gets up in the morning and does your morning calisthenics. That was something that had been part of their military routine.
We're about midday right now. We're about midday right now.
Yeah, we're about midday right now. The thing that is down that field that looks really weird, though, is there looks like there's a ship sail. And by the way, you can see the... Now, I guess actually from the position you're at, you can't see the masts of the ship sticking out of the water.
Okay.
You would have been able to see them before you crossed over because it was outside it would have been
the mouth.
It would have been out here someplace.
Oh, okay.
But there's one weird thing down there on the field, and that is there are a couple of what look like the kind of poles that you would hang telegraph wire from, maybe 18, maybe 20 feet tall, something like that, relatively close together, that somebody appears to have strung a piece of sailcloth between. Just a big blank piece of sailcloth between two poles out in the middle of this field. It's actually at one side of the field. It's closer to the jungle, and or closer to inland, as of the west side of the compound. And most of the white-figured bodies, and they're scattered all over this compound, but there's a knot of them really close to that piece of canvas, that sheet that's hung up.
Okay, this is, which way is the wind blowing?
The wind would be coming in off the sea. It would be blowing east to west.
Would it be blowing towards us?
No. You guys are way to the southeast right now. It is blowing east to west.
Still. Do we smell death?
Not at this range.
Okay, I was just thinking with all those bodies around, do we smell anything?
What's that sail for? What's that sail for?
Yeah, that too.
Nothing written on it.
No, not that you can make out at this range.
Is it rigged for like shade or straight up and down?
Straight up and down. Two poles, piece of canvas between the two.
Is there a giant folded paper football? Flip through?
It's not set up for. It doesn't appear to be set up for any sport you can imagine.
How high is the? How much? Those things are about 18 feet tall. How much of that is taken up by the sail?
The sail's at the top.
Okay.
Are you drying it out or something, or?
I mean, does that look like a way to dry out
This
sails?
is a weird way to do it. You just hang it over a couple lines.
Yeah, you just keep it off the ground.
Because they had to put these poles in the ground. They had to do some work.
Somebody had to
set them.
proactively sew the thing around onto these to hold to each of these
Hoist it up with,
sides
before you put the poles
Like,
up.
that's
you
a
put
lot.
the
Yeah,
point
wait a
up.
minute,
It's very
1919, no,
deliberate.
they wouldn't have it.
What?
One of the things I thought of when you talk about the big white sheet, movie screen.
There's movies in 1919.
Yeah, but would they be out this far? And what are they doing bringing them all the way out here?
I remember reading a book called Hot Places, where they describe, it's written in the 30s, where they talk about that there is a silent movie theater in Tahiti. You know, like you get away to Tahiti to see the Tahiti of Monet, and you get there and it's cars and it's bars and there's a movie theater. And so they were showing Charlie Chaplin films, which I guess by that point would have been, it was in the 30s, so they were talkies, but they're showing silence out there, They're showing silent films, not in order. Just show
But there
the
is
films out there.
something, even if it's not for films, projector screen.
It could, you could project onto this, absolutely.
Yeah, because I was thinking this is odd, but I remember my mom telling me that my grandmother used to take her to Chautauqua
What's that?
shows, traveling shows. They'd have lectures, great castles of Europe, and it would be slide shows, and we're talking the 1920s.
Yeah.
So you had
That's probably really close to what this reminds you of. Yeah.
okay.
By the way, Chautauqua definitely sounds like some old one.
Or a mushroom.
Yeah, isn't that true?
Actually, it was
Real Chautauqua?
no, it's American Chautauqua Society. It's still around today.
Weird. All right, that's cool.
The old ASS.
I like how you really dial yourself in for some competence by making an initial out of it, especially because it spells something dirty.
I mean, that's funny.
I've been with the ass forever.
Since the roaring 20s.
They did roar. They'll start roaring next year.
So do we think we could get, if somebody wanted to stay somewhat hidden from the island of Lelu, but also, and from what you saw, it looked like they had, a high watch posted with guards watching these areas.
How
they were just milling
alert?
about.
Yeah, how alert are the people on the island?
There are definitely guys with shouldered weapons who are looking around across the little shallow harbor or bay, I'm going to call it. This thing is so shallow, there are sections of it that you can walk across.
Low
In
tide,
fact,
right, walk right across, right?
the northernmost part actually has a section that is above water. There's these two islands here, one of which gets bigger, substantially bigger at low tide. But my understanding is that this, you can actually, on low tide, can walk to the island. This area here, this weird little outline here, apparently is something called the Blue Hole, which is just some weird volcanic tunnel that comes up there, and it's just, suddenly this one weird spot where it's
Sinkhole.
yeah, exactly. It's one of those
I need
blue
to
holes.
stretch my legs.
Feel free. But yeah, there's all kinds of lovely things on the coast, right? But
I guess the big question right now is:
wait till dark.
are we just gonna
But
camp out?
do we think we
and
could get
wait?
around to the compound without?
You could.
Jungle's
if
gonna
you
cover
go,
us,
If you go backwards into the green a little bit, and then cross over some of the rougher terrain behind the compound, you could come up on the back of the compound, which would put the compound between you and the people on Lelu. That would actually get you close enough to get into things like some of the officer billets, get you close to get you up next to the where the warehouses are. You can get into those if you move up. Depending on which side of the warehouse you approach, you can get into the warehouses. It wouldn't get you necessarily over by the administration buildings, the places that look like camp headquarters buildings. That wouldn't where the radio tower is, but it's a start.
And we didn't really. What was the kind of the plan back with the main ship and main body as far as how long they expect us to be out there?
Well, I expect you'll be gone until they begin to worry about you.
Yeah.
If they start worrying about you seriously, then they'll obviously go get a bunch of swabbies and hand them a bunch of rifles, and hopefully they'll know which way the bullets come out of them. And they'll just double the number because it's only like 3 swabbies equals 1 Marine, and then they'll come rescue you. I'm sure you'll be rescuable. The question is that how long does it take? I'm going to go ahead and say, because most player characters would want to have an absolute due date on when we need to be back. Like tomorrow morning, if we're not back by tomorrow morning, there's a problem. Send help, make another decision.
Sure. Yes, we probably should just start.
Because that would be the main thing. I'm going to also presume that our lieutenant signaled this ship when from the shore with the lamp. The question, maybe he would have sent what's her name, Devereaux back to the ship. She's not interested in leaving, or she would, if she was invited to. She says, "No, I need to stay. This is my congregation. Are you going to take everybody off of Coast Ray? No, you can't put them all on your boat. There's not enough room." So she's not interested in leaving, but certainly, the bosun's mate or whoever you left back in charge of the boat will know that, if you're not back by tomorrow, then wait for the next high tide and leave.
No, I only know this because you gave me that sheet originally, but I would know it from being on the boat with her. But I know, or him, I know the lieutenant has a flare gun with some colored flares, so I assume if there could be some sort of a standard protocol if we think we're good but we can't get back, we could send up a green flare that says we're fine, wait another day or something.
Yeah.
Red flare could mean send in the Marine.
Start the plane.
Yeah.
It means get to the chopper. That's probably how it works as far as the signals go. Green means everything's great.
So we got some ways to communicate.
And you would be able to put these flares up high enough so they could see them over the ridge line from the ship. That won't be a problem. Of course, it will definitely tell all those jumpy, nervous Japanese guys on that island that you have visitors.
So I think let's head. I imagine we only got to walk 5 feet into the jungle to be visible.
Yeah, it ain't
so
much.
let's just go come around from the back and just now that we know where Lelu is, we can keep them. We'll always keep something between us and Lelu. I think we'll be okay.
You guys, it's another probably about 200-300 yards to get to where you're going. You cross a couple of creeks that are just basically wadable through. You probably also run into some Japanese pipes that have been laid into the ground that have been installed above ground to draw water from this creek. Actually, you're not going that far into the jungle, so maybe not. But actually, no. Yeah. So you see the rail. You'll be able to see the rail line fairly well. You'll also be able to see the docks. Please make me a awareness roll.
I made that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Success.
Just missed mine.
Okay. Anyone who made a success, the data you get from this is that there is a long key, and this it is a stone key that's been made by piling up rocks, and then they've put cement down on top of this thing. So it goes out quite far, and at the end of this thing, there's actually what looks like a flat-bottomed barge. It's not something that would be seaworthy in that it is a flat barge. But it's got a cargo crane on it, and it's got a little wheelhouse at one end. There's nothing, I mean, it's right there at the end of the little rail line.
Can we tell us if there's anything in it?
It has an open deck, and then there's no lower deck necessarily. There's just like there's an engine house at one end of it, and your experience with these things would be that beneath the engine house that's where the motors are, right? The rest of this thing is just hollow flotation, for this barge.
So you would stack
things on the deck, and you tie them down. There's all these big steel, I don't know what you call them, pinions or things that are sticking up for cargo netting and whatnot. It's not designed to be seaworthy. It's designed to be a transit between here over the top of the reef and out to a cargo ship that would then pick things off the deck of the barge.
Okay.
And put it. This is something that would have had to have been towed out here by something else, more likely than anything. It wouldn't have It wouldn't have much range.
Yeah.
It would not be a terribly stable platform on bad seas, because again, it's flat.
I mean, what's the point to that? Were they digging up something off this island that was?
You'd either be bringing
valuable?
stuff to the island from cargo ships on this barge, things that were big and heavy, things that couldn't be
so
put,
like supply pallets or
things that couldn't be put in a rowboat, or you're taking things off the island that are too big to be put in a rowboat.
And if this rail line goes from here to the dig, then either they're bringing in equipment to dig, or they're bringing out whatever they're digging up, ostensibly.
Okay.
The chemical weapons.
Yeah. All right.
If you're lucky, it's just some pocket of minerals that desiccates, people.
Yeah.
Minerals.
That's what we need to.
It'll be like it's this blue clay. It's got uranium in it, something like that.
All right. So I guess we kind of creep out of the jungle from the blind side and get to the.
And be
to
careful
get
of the
to
Sumatran rats.
Yeah.
They're
There is
big
only
bastards.
occasionally though, but those are only in Sherlock Holmes stories. And since we're not playing the Sherlock Holmes game, we don't have to worry about the giant rat of Sumatra. But maybe the occasional tiger. There's no Coast Ray and tigers. I checked. There's not even any cool. There's not even any cool like monitor lizards or anything. Kind of sad. Anyways, there are, however, wild pigs on the island. So who knows? Maybe barbecue tonight, or maybe you get disemboweled like some Norman King. You never can tell. It could go either way. Back when dinner fought back. You're able to creep along this the edge of this rail line that kind of runs along the edge of the when it starts going up into the higher elevations. The area is fairly well forested. You come around and find yourselves in front of this, and there's not much space. There's they cleared out stumps and trees and whatnot, but there's maybe 30 feet between the edge of the jungle and the fence. It ain't much. It's not like they created giant fields of fire and there's no guard towers with Lewis guns in them. It's not that kind of setup. It's just some very simple security measures. I'm sure the fence isn't electrified. Feel free to touch your tongue against it.
So it's not a stockade fence. It's like metal.
Well, it's like a wire fence, like something they would have rolled out.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know.
So you can see through it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's just wire, and maybe chicken wire size, maybe to keep rats from the jungle out or whatever, you know, so they don't get into the food supply and eat everybody's rice and dried fish or taro root or whatever it is the Japanese mess kit, You're out here at the edge of the compound and you can see through between some of the buildings. And since you did say you're going around to the back of this thing, you do get the smell you were asking about before.
Okay.
But there are a crap ton of corpses out in that field. Too many to count. And it doesn't smell as bad as it should.
Yeah, I'll try it.
We're close. I mean, do they look like the ones we're familiar with from the boat, or are we not that close yet? Similar signs.
There are a few that look like they are sitting. Now, you're coming around the side of this thing as you're going through, going and looking between the buildings. You are seeing, various angles on this field. You're definitely seeing some guys who look like they're sitting on the ground like in a half lotus position, facing the sheet, and they're still sitting there. There are piles of guys who look like they're piled on top of each other. There is make an observation or an awareness roll, everybody. There's one other detail out there that might be interesting.
44 is going to be a crit success.
No. All right.
Succeeded.
Crit success notices that there is a table out in the middle of the field that's tipped over on its side. It's behind where most of the guys, all the guys who are sitting cross-legged have their backs to the table, and they're looking at the sheet. Table's behind them. It's tipped over.
Where
So you
So
can see-
that could play into our projector
maybe where the
theory.
projector was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what were they projecting?
Charlie Chaplin silent film.
Apparently somebody filmed the production of The King in Yellow or something.
We know this desiccating chemical agent is really fast acting.
There are guys who are just, like I said,
Anybody
sitting
have their eyes covered? Or is anyone covering their eyes with their hands?
Well, you did make a critical success. There's one guy doing this. In a sort of classic kaiju Gojira pointing
Yeah.
at the sheet.
And just, that's crazy.
But nobody's doing this that I see.
You might see a couple of guys doing that, yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I'm almost positive. But again, there's one guy who's, just mouth open, catching flies.
Yeah. Are flies starting to get into the corpses, or are they leaving them alone?
At this distance, you really can't tell. It's gonna be you're gonna have to get a lot
Okay.
closer. Let me think. I'll tell you what. Tropical weather, summer, you should see clouds.
Yeah, I would expect a lot more.
What you're not seeing are clouds of flies.
Yeah. Which tracks with the boat.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so what do we do here?
And do we feel like we can get into some of the buildings without exposing ourselves to the island?
Some of them. Yeah.
I just start there. then.
Dealer's choice.
Yeah.
Everybody gets to make a stealth roll. What would you like to get into? Officers' quarters?
Are any of us bad at stealth?
I've got a
Before we
I've got a
actually attempt
50.
that roll.
I'm decent.
Even Lieutenant has stealth.
You got a 55.
The more rolls, the more chances for failure.
Tell you what, we're going to make one roll based on the lowest stealth roll of the group.
Who's got that?
Lieutenant has 50. I'll make one of you guys roll it.
50. Same here.
What'd you roll?
55.
I'm 65.
All right, you're rolling the stealth roll. Try not to crit fail.
Well, I did not crit fail. Just a regular fail.
Just a regular
63.
fail? You are far away, and little tiny dots in nice, khaki uniforms, and not, bright white uniforms. You're going to need to crit fail when you're playing it safe. You're going to cross over into the other areas of that compound. That's when actual failure rolls are going to matter. All right. But over here, what do you want to sneak into? The
What are our options again?
on this side of the island, on this side of the compound, you've got things like there's a water tower on this side, which is maybe the tallest spot on the thing. Which is there are pipes that run around this compound. They're on top of the ground. They go off to two buildings. One looks like it's got a smokestack coming out of it, so it's probably some sort of mess. Another one goes off to a bunch of showers and things, because again, the Japanese are not going to build something without having a place to have a shower. It's just not going to happen. There's also, the latrines over there by that as well.
Is there a way we can see, get at the water to see if it smells funny?
Sure. There's if you were to hack open one of these pipes or pry open the water, are you looking for the water that's coming from the creek or the stuff that's in the water tank? Because climbing to the water tank, you could go to the bottom of the water tank and
I
open up
guess,
the valve at the bottom.
I guess both, since we're trying to figure out what's going on here,
Okay.
but we'll start with whatever's easiest.
The water, go ahead and make an awareness roll, since you're the one who's going to ask him the question.
All right. Success.
You go ahead and make me a pharmacy roll.
So that does not make my pharmacy. It does make my first aid, but not pharmacy.
All right. It doesn't smell like any chemicals. You're not smelling any chemicals in it, except maybe a little bit of chlorine in it for water for purification. That would be pretty standard. That is the stuff coming out of the water tower, the valve at the bottom. The creek doesn't smell like anything except beautiful mountain spring water, which we will now bottle and sell to yuppies. That's all. That's all that you're really coming up with there.
Right.
It doesn't smell odd to you. It doesn't weird. It's not greasy, iridescent. It just looks like. It smells like. It's not pool water chlorinated, but
Right.
you've drunk military purified water before. You've done it. This is what you'd have been.
Toughens up your guts.
This is what you would have been drinking in Haiti, rather than the local well water.
Right.
Which would really toughen up your gut.
I can attest to that.
How's that?
I can attest to that.
Oh dear, sorry to hear that, sir. But yes, over on this side, there's also the warehouses. The doors to the warehouses are all in the front. There's no fire hazard codes, so there's no doors in the back of these things. They all face the compound.
Windows?
The closest thing to windows is going to be just these holes cut into them for ventilation. All right.
Are those big enough to crawl through?
They're a little high up, but if you were to form yourselves into the proverbial human pyramid, all right, tell you what, how about this instead? These buildings are corrugated steel. They're just corrugated steel on a wood frame. You're probably better just breaking the corrugated steel away, taking your bayonet and popping the corrugated steel off the side of the building and shimmying in.
Yeah.
They're not going to hear it on the island.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do that.
I mean,
Make ourselves a doorway so we can get in.
all right, okay, that's good. Now we've established one of the Alphonse's axioms for agents right here. Never use the front door, make your own doors. This is the moment that axiom came in. Well, you're in a darkened warehouse. It is. They look like these guys poured a concrete pad for this thing. It's not particularly tall. It doesn't have multiple cases stacked up to the ceiling like it's, where they keep the Ark, under the Pentagon or whatever. I guess it wouldn't be the Pentagon in 1936. But it is it appears that some effort has been made to keep this cool and dry. There is, in fact, electric lighting. I mean, you can see the bulbs hanging from the ceiling.
Do they work?
Nope.
Oh, get out my flashlight.
Power seems to be off.
All right. Get my red flashlight out.
There is Japanese all over. There's a whole bunch of kanji written all over.
What does all this say?
It says things like, since you're asking the lieutenant, it says things like, large chamber 1, level 1. Another box says a meditation chamber 5. Prayer chamber 2.
So this must be stuff they hauled out of the dig.
I'm gonna crowbar one of these crates open.
Okay. Which one would you like to open up? There is,
I don't know. Meditation chamber.
How many are there? We'll roll a D, whatever.
well, there is, there's some things like that say there's one box, that says something like second floor, second level pendulum room. There's another one that says urns, or sacrificial urns. Yeah, and what sounds
Sacrificial urns sounds fun.
Is there a creepy death video room we can open? That one? That's probably where the...
that's the one you want to go to?
Yeah, if it's there, we'll find it and just destroy that.
Did they box that up?
Yeah, at some point you're going to find the box that's marked Sadako. But there's other things that say things like second floor generator room. Or second level generator room. Generator room 1, generator 2, room 2. So
old German technology.
let's talk about sacrificial urns. All right. You crowbar that thing open, or
Remember, protect yourself.
yes. Remember to yes.
State of the art.
What you get is how do I describe this? It is an urn. It is an urn packed up in straw and such. And there's 2 of them in this crate. Both urns are, shall we say, grossly parodied, not even parodied, I should say that, grossly exaggerated human figures of two genders. There's a male and a female. So the male figure looks like one of those Roman household gods with a giant phallus that is sort of obvious on it, and the female figure is all boobs, and just and again it's in this, all wrapped up into this urn. Feet at the bottom. It's all like, again, shaped like a person. Feet at the bottom, head at the top. The head is tipped back. The mouth appears to be reaching into the mouth appears to be where the top of the urn would be opened. The expressions on both faces don't look happy. They're wide-eyed, lots of teeth. This urn looks like it was, from what you can tell, it looks like it was carved out of stone rather than thrown on a potter's wheel. All right, this looks like some sort of black, dark, heavy stone, and it's got. Both figures have their arms behind their back with their wrists crossed. You can't see all the way down to the feet because you're just looking at the top of this thing. If you want to try and lift one of these out, that's your business.
How tall are they?
They're about 2 feet tall.
Okay. I want to shine the light in there to see the lid
Okay.
and just try to open one up.
It looks like it's less of a lid, and if there's a top or a plug, it looks like it's sealed with some sort of maybe metal that's been melted into it. None of you guys are art historians. None of you guys are lettered individuals. As far as what culture this resembles, or what background or whatever, I can't possibly provide that information because you guys don't have the gear to process it.
LT's smart. What does this look like to you?
He says it looks Mexican.
Looks what?
Looks Mexican. Looks Mayan, Aztec, Olmec. You know those guys.
No, I know what Mexican is, but
It looks like Mexican
we're
Indians.
I think we're in the wrong islands for that.
Yeah, well, Thor Heyerdahl hasn't proved that the Polynesian islands were settled by the New World yet by sailing the Kon-Tiki, which he did in like something crazy like, 47, 48. But, so people are still arguing about whether or not Polynesians come from the Incas or whether they come from Asia. And then so he's like, these look like, they look Central American, they look Mexican to me.
You say so.
So I've got actually a shockingly high unnatural skill for someone who has no.
Did I accidentally put a? That's
Put the unarmed combat.
Should that be somewhere
that's
else?
an armed combat.
Okay.
That's me slipping my
All right.
finger. Give me that.
I was gonna say I seem to be very well versed in
you-
natural for someone who's never.
I'm going to go now. There's a couple of you out here now that I remember who might actually have a cult. And that includes you,
I got 20.
Oh, yeah.
because you got both the guys who got what do you call it, hardened to violence.
Yeah.
Yep.
Should I have thrown that in for guys who didn't get hardened to violence by Delta Green operations?
Well, not necessarily. Like the reason that's in there in the rule book is that assumes that was part of what brought your character into
Got it.
Delta Green. So it kind of assumes that you were investigating some weird, crazy
Okay.
fringe shit that
Well,
you
we'll
learned
just
about.
say you might have seen some shit in France. You might have seen some shit in Haiti. Go ahead and make rolls under a cult. Hell, they have voodoo in Haiti. You actually heard of voodoo. You probably heard the word zombie before, what's his name, brought the word to the mainland with his book, The Magic Island. Crap, what was that author's name? Go, roll the dice.
No. Actually, crit fail.
Crit fail. Okay. You
Thank you.
think it's voodoo shit. You could fail. You are absolutely positive.
Yeah.
This is some Haitian voodoo stuff. Frank, would you care to also add a crit fail so you can think it's Chinese instead of it's Taoist?
The lieutenant doesn't know what he's talking about. This is voodoo shit.
Well, I only got a 20%, so what the hell,
Oh, also a crit fail.
I also did a crit fail.
Excellent.
33.
Pre-World War II Karateka.
And in that case, because your guy was in the Philippines and stuff, this stuff looks like those Indonesian demon puppets. To you know what I'm talking about? All the scary
Yep.
masks from Indonesian stuff. That's what it reminds you of. It's all fugly. I mean, that's the bottom line is it's clearly fuggery.
Yep.
As someone who has a Mexican heritage, and I had a Mexican American mother, does this feel like
That's a good call.
Mexican-ish?
I'm going to actually go ahead and say that's a good call. You've seen Dia de los Muertos decorations
Yeah.
for years, and all that stuff's heavily influenced by Mesoamerican art. And some of those designs do turn up in things. There's stuff on this that looks. There's stuff on the figures, whether it's meant to be like writing, or if it's meant to represent jewelry, or if it's meant to represent body tattoos that these figures had. It's you're not sure, but some of it looks like that stuff that would have old Mexican, Aztec, or whatever, so that weird pictograms, with
Sure.
little square figurines. They're not like big flowing Egyptian hieroglyphics. They're those weird little compressed, there's some stuff like that on it. So it does have kind of a strange look like that. I'm going to go ahead and give that one to you. Sure.
So it doesn't sound like that both sounds like bullshit. but Lieutenant sounds like maybe there is some.
Yeah.
Maybe there is some good stuff there. What's in another? Give me another.
I said things
container,
like
random-
meditation chambers. I said things like.
Said pendulum chamber. What's in that?
There was a
What's this?
pendulum chamber. Yes, there was.
What's in that?
What you're finding is they're these boxes of blocks. There are these sort of metal. I don't know. I shouldn't call them blocks. But they're like maybe an inch by an inch. Not much more than that. They're tall. They're thin. And there's just dozens of them, and some of them have different sizes, and some of them have different colors. Like there's a whole ton of the silver ones, and then every, let's say, 30 or so, there's a red one, and then you're going through the box, and every 365 there's a green one.
All right. So I'm not sure my character would know this. Because I don't know what his knowledge. He's never been to the Museum of Science in Boston in the late 90s. But they had a big pendulum that they would set up these little things around the side of it, and they would knock them down at a standard time and count time.
Well, Foucault's pendulum.
Yeah.
How old was that? What, the Renaissance?
Neither Rico nor myself know that. So I don't. I'm not sure if Rico had that knowledge, but
The lieutenant might be able to come up with. It's
Okay.
it's for a calendar. It's for a swinging ball that acts as a calendar, like a calendar piece, which doesn't make any goddamn sense at all, even to me now. That because the Earth rotates, the pendulum will continue to move until it knocks down a year's worth of. Yeah. So there's some sort of pendulum calendar stuff.
so how many of these do we want to bust open, or do we want to? There's obviously stuff that they've dug up.
Are any of them labeled like
Phosgene.
disease causing?
Sacrificial chamber was about as close as we were going to
Yeah,
get.
well, you did pretty good with the urns, the sacrificial urns. There's some stuff that's like, again, generator room chamber 1, generator room chamber 2. That seems odd. Lieutenant will want to know about that.
Pop one of those open.
When you pop those open, they're filled with what appear to be bronze objects. They look like maybe they could be picked up and designed to be used, gripped by human hands at one end, but the other end is just a mess of tangled, hard pieces of metal and wires and sort of stiff wires, not floppy wires. They look like they were designed to be held. How or what they do is hard to tell. There's box-like things made out of this bronze material that apparently have gems set into it. None of it's particularly heavy. None of it feels delicate. Still feels it's pretty sturdy. It's also
What kind of gems?
but the kind of gems, I don't know. Based on your experience as a Hasidic diamond merchant, you can tell that these are blue emeralds from the Caribbean.
They're truly outrageous gems.
They are. They're hard to. It's some sort of glass rock. It could be quartz. It could be rubies. My favorite is when I actually finally saw a ruby. I was so disappointed. I was like, no, it's barely even red. And but the nice blood red garnet that's worthless.
Right.
That's the one I'm going to pick up and be the smart guy and leave the room with. It's like that. You get about that much chance of getting something valuable. However, there are a number of things that could go in your pocket that might be just the sort of thing that would go in your pocket.
Well, I want some of that to go in my pocket.
All right, go ahead and give
If
me a
it
stealth roll.
looks valuable, or it doesn't have to be intrinsically valuable. It just needs to be the next sucker in the next port valuable.
You're the guy in the next adventure that sells the artifact to the guy and tells him it's on Skull Island.
Yeah. It was. It literally was.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Stealth?
Stealth.
All right. Success.
All right. Nobody sees shit. We'll determine what horrible thing you've put in your pocket.
Yeah.
Sink the ship later.
Good job, Bobby Brady.
She did take the idol, didn't she?
Yeah.
She did pick up the fetish or the whatever it was, the juju statue in that episode. All right.
So I feel like we may want to look at another type of building, because this is clearly all dig site stuff.
Awareness.
I guess.
Awareness. Everyone roll it.
Oh. Success.
You're rolling again?
Success,
Awareness.
hopefully a success for awareness.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, succeed.
I got
no.
I got some kind of weird little Cthulhu design here.
That's a 0.
It's a
It's on a
0.
D6. I think it's a. Oh no, it's on the 10. Yeah.
Is that
And-
10?
So you're good.
Yeah, I got 0-5.
All right. That would be awesome if we were playing Call of Cthulhu. It's merely a success if we're playing Delta Green. 2 successes. Those of you who got your successes are now hearing pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. Oh, good.
Like
That's not
gunshot?
bad. That is a whole lot of gunfire.
In which direction?
Well, you're in a warehouse. It would
Yeah.
be easier to determine direction if you were not in a warehouse.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll
Let's leave the warehouse.
that's gunshots, ain't it, Connie?
It sure as hell is.
All right, you guys exit the building. It is definitely coming from the east, back towards the ocean,
From the island.
back towards the island.
And what are yeah, how is from where we are, is it a straight line into the tree line?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm absent any instructions otherwise, I'm going that way
Okay.
to get into cover and concealment.
All right, that's
Sounds
not,
good.
That's not the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Lieutenant agrees. All his military science is about being on water, so this is the part where you defer to the grunts. or
You
not
said none of
grunts.
all these buildings were one story, right?
Yeah, the warehouses are a little taller than that, just to let the heat rise to the ceiling and not be horrible.
But I can't like scramble to a second floor somewhere.
No.
Inside. Okay. Yeah. So true line sounds great.
If you, you could climb to the top of the water tower.
That seems like exposed.
Yeah.
It does at that.
Did I paint the target on me now or later? Yeah.
Don't worry, you've been painted as a Jessica.
So the drone operator to the fly.
Yeah.
You guys get to the tree line. You scramble back up into the trees. Do you want to go for use a tree to see over the buildings? Because right now there's going to be a lot of.
I certainly do. I mean, unless there's like
Give me an athletics roll.
an avenue, from ground level to see between buildings to the island, then
There's
I'll
not
try
the
to
whole
scuttle
island.
up.
You can see part of the island, but you're going to need to get above the.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're on an upward. It's a downward slope towards the sea, but you're going to need a little bit higher than that. The water tower would have worked. True.
That's
Athletics?
a failure on the athletics.
Okay. That's not what I'm going to go. You're going to have to roll a crit fail to fall to your death, because you're just climbing. There's no bullets flying at you.
Right.
You're just getting the. You don't look good climbing. Maybe at some point maybe at some point your rifle falls down through the limbs and hits the ground. No,
There goes your zero.
you scramble around and it's not pretty, but you manage to get up to a height. However, you've got to a spot where you still can't see where you can shoot, where you can see a strict line. So give me a second roll to see if you can find your way over to a limb where you can actually see better.
Another standard failure.
Oof. All right, you're still hearing all the popping sounds. You still hear
So
that,
it's still going on. It's not.
but
it's a gunfight.
it has slowed down. Go ahead and give me one more roll to see if you can get up there and see what's going on before whatever's going on is over. Because they're on combat rounds, but you're not.
That's a success finally.
Okay.
These trees suck.
You finally get out there and you're taking a look down and you see that there are a bunch of boats. There's like 3 large some of the same kind of boats we've been dealing with the whole time. The kind of 30-foot or road.
They're not local canoes.
No, but they're
They're not
actually,
ours, are they?
Nope, they're but they're painted white, and there's you can see smoke, which is interesting because it means that at this range there must be black powder weapons being used. Give me an alertness from up there.
No,
Okay.
fumble in fact.
Fumble. Okay.
Yeah.
You can see some boats, like I said, that are rowing towards Leilu Island, and they're heading towards they're landing on they're coming into shore on the village side. That's what you can see at this point.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll call all that down.
Okay.
What are your eagle
You
eyes?
probably also see people, depending on how long you stay up there.
Yeah. I mean, I'll stay up watching until there's some reason not to.
What you see up there is that these guys row their boats to the shore, get out, and fan out through the village in Leilu Island. And then you can hear some more gunshots.
So I was going to say, does this look like Japanese soldiers coming off of these boats and heading in?
You failed your awareness roll.
Yeah. All right.
Give me another awareness roll, though.
That one is, because my alertness is so awesome, that's a critical success.
There's another ship. There is a ship you can see beyond Leilu Island. It's a couple miles out. It's a sailing ship. Doesn't have. It's got a stack on it, but it's got sails. And it is, and there's still plenty of vessels like this cruising around this time period. It's not a big, steel, 3-tower, tramp steamer. But it's flying a Japanese flag. That is to say, the single red dot, not the Navy ensign with all the, rays of light coming off the rising sun there.
So it would be like a civilian.
Or, yeah,
Ship,
exactly.
kind.
The Army would not have a ship. It would be what you get on a merchant ship.
Right.
But it's got a Japanese ensign on it. Or not an ensign, but a civilian flag. It's kind of it's not a big, white, shiny, tall ship. It looks like a pretty good sized 4-masted bark. No, sorry, 3-masted bark. 4 would be monstrous. There's only one 4-masted bark I know about. But it's a good-sized inter-island trading vessel, and they don't have any launches on the side of the boat. I'll give you that much.
So they've sent off everybody to attack this island.
Mm-hmm. Well, that island.
Or that island, yeah.
Of course, there is another one that looks like it's aimed for the docks.
Which is where we are.
Well, you're close to the docks.
Right. Well,
Remember,
calling all that
they're
down.
still our allies, technically. So
Right.
this, in theory, may not be that bad. He says.
Then why don't you go out there and greet them?
That's the lieutenant's job.
Yeah.
Sounds like
What's the
lieutenant work.
greeting of the day? Hi, guys. How's it going? They seem
What's
to
your
have shot
sixth
me.
general? I don't know which one that is.
Can I see the docks from where I am?
Yes. Well, go ahead. Give me an alertness roll. See if, because you were trying to see the island. Let's see if you can look down at the docks.
No, I cannot.
All right. You're for whatever the problem is. Something's
I
in the
picked
way.
literally the worst tree in the whole jungle.
You don't get to pick the tree until you climb it. I mean, it's not like you're in it and this is the tree. You're stuck with it. It's your tree. You're.
All right. Well, I guess LT. What the hell are we doing?
LT says, "There's no subtlety anymore. Let's run to the building that looks like a headquarters building and grab everything that's not nailed down and run back into the jungle."
On it.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
they are distracted.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's run into the headquarters.
You guys run across the field.
I'm looking for places to set up and provide returning fire if these people coming for the docks decide they've had enough of us
All right,
existing.
go ahead and give me a military science roll to find a spot that's...
No.
Okay. Nothing in the trees. Again, there's that lovely water tower. Who wants to be in a water tower? You could be a water tower sniper.
Oh, I'm sure I could.
Set the precedent for tower snipers everywhere.
Exactly.
Does the water tower have any convenient, walls to provide cover and protection?
No, there's the buildings. I mean, there's all the buildings in the compound, and they're made out of wood at least. I'll tell you what. There is in fact one spot that might be good that is not in the trees. You guys cross the creek, or the creeks plural. Down the Japanese put in a footbridge and a rail bridge over those creeks. These guys coming from the docks, if they land there and get out and they come straight here, they're going to cross that footbridge. If you were to go and stick yourself 200 meters or whatever you think is charming sniper distance, and the creek is open. I mean, there's no trees there, right? You're going to have you're going to be above because it's flowing down. You could find yourself a spot on one of the sides of the creek and be able to glass the footbridge if these guys come this way. The problem is if they don't come that way, you're watching an empty bridge.
Yeah, at this point, I'm most interested in just in the docks.
Okay.
That's where we know they're headed, and if they decide to be trouble, that's where it's going to start.
Okay.
So I basically want to, if we're all heading for that administration building, then I want to park myself somewhere.
You'll see the footpath.
out of that's not easily seen,
Okay.
and where I can watch the docks, preferably where I can watch the docks and have an eye on
The Japanese
island.
buildings are all up on stilts. These bungalows, all right, they're all up on stilts to keep the number of bugs out of your, out of your hair and whatever when you're sleeping. So, being underneath one of the buildings is a dark area. It's one of the few places that's going to be a little bit overgrown, because it's not going to be an easy place for people to, mow or cut the grass or whatever.
Okay, so I want to find one that's elevated enough that I can have a pretty good view of things, despite being underneath. And I'll say I'm heading for that to keep watch
Okay.
while everybody searches.
Good luck.
All right. All right. You're just gonna have to do that for a while.
Yeah.
So, the sprint across the field. You guys run through the corpse garden. All right. Everyone make awareness rolls.
Success.
Yes.
Yes. Very
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. The news is there's a whole bunch of mummified motherfuckers out here in this field. There's a whole bunch of guys who are just absolutely beef jerky. They're just desiccated. Like I said, there's the guy doing the Godzilla thing, and there's guys holding their eyes. There's guys who look like they might have been laughing. There are a fair number of people who appear to have attacked each other. There's people sticking their thumbs in each other's eyes. There's at least one dead guy who's not beef jerky, who clearly is missing his eyes. He's got flies on him. All right, the flies are all over him, especially his gouged out eye sockets. But he looks like he's got a bullet hole in him somewhere, right in the middle of his forehead. There's guys who look like they bit each other. There's guys who look like they're tangled in combat and then froze up. There appears to be at least some people have been shot in the back. Some people look like they may have been, there's at least, you'll find some officer with an empty Nambu pistol in his hand, having put the last round in his head. It's a tangle of nasty nonsense out here. Everybody make a sand roll, adjusted for the fact that some of you are, in fact...
Is it violence or
Is this violence or something else?
it's not really unnatural. It's almost more like helplessness.
So
you're-
roll it against helplessness then?
Yeah,
Because
because...
if they're adapted to violence, they succeed automatically, but not if they're adapted, or not if they're not adapted. to
this is more
helplessness.
like you've encountered a whole bunch. I think encountering a whole bunch of horrible is
No,
helplessness.
that's a failure.
Okay. Anybody else?
Success. I failed as well.
Okay.
Made my sand.
All right. Anyone who makes it takes a point. Anyone who fails takes 2. Actually, no, it's you take 2 and you take 2. You failed, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so it's it all flies past pretty fast. Thank goodness. I'm sure it will never return to your dreams. But yeah, it didn't work out so good here. You get into something that there are kanji symbols on wooden plaques on all the buildings once you get this close, and the lieutenant's like, over here, you were saying?
Was you run past where the table slipped over? They're going for the building. Well, smart, but
There's a projector.
I'm subscribing to the projector theory. So
There's a projector.
I would like to round up whatever's. Is there a film on it? A reel on
The
it?
film reel is missing.
It's missing.
Yes.
Anything else?
Well, I mean, there's a cable.
Is there a canister?
There's a cable that goes off, in that direction, to the generator shack to turn this
So,
thing.
film we're missing. Is there a canister that is in conveniently close by? Or I'll spend a moment or two to see if I can find the film in the immediate area.
No, there is no. As much as I would love to leave the canister, there is no canister.
Okay.
But anyways, Lieutenant goes in here, and you guys go up into what looks like an office. The office is filled with. Well, it starts off. I mean, it looks like it's just a nice, short, low bungalow. You get in it. It's all these tables. There's all these long tables, and there's various bits and pieces of cleaning tools and these like little brushes and little things like that for soft silk cloths and things like that for. Well, if you were a better educated man, you might identify as a place that somebody would clean off an artifact after they pulled it out of the dirt. There is filing cabinets in here. There are a number of desks as well. There's like 5 different desks in here, and various pictures of various families are on them and such. And there's, as you're going up the front steps, you pass another corpse. He's right there at the front door of the building. Looks like he got shot right below the left eye, and is laying, feet up towards the door, head towards the stairs up into the building, like he walked up into this and somebody inside the building shot him. He's covered in flies. He does not have any sign. He's been out here for a couple of weeks.
Yep.
So, in this environment, that might mean rats. He's probably in bad shape. You might not even be able to see the bullet hole, depending on what chewed on him first. I know Coast Ray. If I was making it really unnatural, it'd be the coconut crabs eating them. They could be eating them too. Everyone's all worried because arthropod is eating its way up the food chain and eating a primate, and that makes everybody nervous. It's like those centipedes that catch bats. No, insects are not allowed to predate mammals. It's the other way around. No, tell it to the foot-long centipedes in Puerto Rico. But he's not looking too good. He's in extremely bad shape. The interior of the building, there are filing cabinets, and they are open. Some of them it looks like this place has been searched already. There's damage to some of the drawers and the desks that they've been obviously forced open. Lieutenant Hope is sort of like confronted with this mess and is sort of horrified about
My coup.
Yeah, where do I start first? It's a total fucking mess, So he's desperately digging around. He's like, just keep an eye out for, whatever's going on behind me, and I'm sure I'll have this sorted out by next week. You guys just hold him off till then. And he begins rummaging and possibly hemorrhaging through the room. You said you're going to go find yourself a spot to try and. All right, go ahead and give me a military science roll down here. So you can find a decent spot. Sometimes I wonder with sniper stuff, should I have you roll under your rifle skill to figure out a good spot to take a shot from, as opposed to
done that
military
before.
science, as opposed to Military science is like how to deploy a squad, not how to. Actually, go ahead. Roll into
Something
it.
to specialize. That would have succeeded. With
All right, let's go with that. You were able to get a look, and the boat is tied up next to the dock. There's some guys on the barge, looking around. Go ahead and give me an awareness roll, modified by your lovely scope.
Success.
All right. Where are you three guys going to position yourselves while the lieutenant is having a confetti party and throwing all the papers around in the air?
So this is a wood building,
Yes.
and are there windows that I can kind of keep an eye on? Avenues of approach
Okay.
to the.
If you're not looking for cover like it'll stop a bullet, but cover that they can't see you.
Yeah.
There's definitely stuff here. All the windows have those bamboo shades that roll up. There's no glass in these things.
Yeah.
That's just there's weather shutters on the outside, and inside are just roll up shades. Where you want to put your eyeballs?
On the most likely avenue of approach from the docks area.
Okay. There is actually a gate to the camp down parallel to where the tracks come up to and the tracks actually come into the camp and go past the front of the warehouses. All right, and then they go back up into the hills and they go out the other end of the camp.
We haven't seen a train, right?
No,
Okay.
you have not.
Can I also get myself behind something for concealment, but can I get a look at the island?
Same building as the lieutenant or different building?
Same building's fine. I want to be able to see the island. 'Cause
Okay.
I haven't seen what's been going on there in a little while, so that's
Okay.
a concern. So same building if possible. It has to be
Well, then you go in a back room, and the first room is terrible. The first room has no windows in it.
Terrible.
It's terrible because it's got no windows in it. It's just got these weird bottles of fluid mounted on the walls. Like, I don't know, maybe it's
Got wood
probably
paneling and
moonshine
popcorn
jugs.
ceiling.
There's these tables and with a bunch of low metal pans on them. The room doesn't have any. In fact, you had to go through 2 doors to get into the room.
Yeah. Would I recognize that as a dark room or not?
I think you might. If you recognized it. Go ahead and give me an intelligence roll. You don't have any photography skill, so this is 1919 photography where everyone's still upside down, right?
So 94. So no. So
Yeah,
as I
you're
leave that room, I'm like, Lieutenant, there's some chemicals in here. Maybe that's your weapons.
Well, the lieutenant is thrilled by the and is immediately let down and goes, "Oh, it's just a dark room. Wait a minute, the photographs? Find the photographs!"
I'm already in the next room.
Well, all right. Well, then he's tearing around trying to find photographs.
Let him see this horror.
You find the second room. It looks like somebody's is like a back office, like a private office. This room has not been searched.
Okay.
It is not tossed. However, there is a lovely, because this window is facing east, there is a lovely panorama of the oh, look, Lelu Village is on fire. That is a village that is on fucking fire right now. I mean, clearing the ville on fire, like they're lighting,
Do the whole village.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, exactly. It's like that. The whole thing is just torched up, and all that thatch is going up just exactly the way you'd expect it to. You can still occasionally hear a crack of a high-powered rifle off in the distance.
So I know that I know you're setting up a sniper nest, and I know you've found another place. But I'll yell.
You
I'll
would
yell to the
both be
gunny.
able to see the fire at this point.
I'll yell to the gunny. The village is on fire. I'm going to keep a lookout from here. But this room. Can
Where do you want to
searched,
put
too.
yourself, Mr. Well, I should say Gunny. Excuse me. You didn't go through all those years in the Marine Corps to be called Mr.
Well,
Gunny.
you know what?
What?
I'm going to go with him.
All right. You're getting again, big giant window, lovely view of the mini apocalypse happening on Lelu Island. It's not good. It's gross. Yeah.
Is that apocalypse happening now?
A bullet. Flies through the window.
It was worth it.
Just last. I regret nothing as he slips down onto the floor.
1,000,000 to 1 bad luck moment.
Go ahead. You two guys give me awareness rolls as you're looking out there. There's more going on than just some recreational arson.
23, I made mine.
Run of the mill failure.
Okay. There are one of the boats is refilling up with assholes. The guys on the other line, one of those 3 boats that arrived. One of them was refilling with assholes, and they're pushing it back into the water.
Delta Green: The Labyrinth is now available in PDF and is coming in early 2020 in hardback. The Labyrinth takes Delta Green agents beyond the Beltway and deep into the fissures of America in the new millennium. Written by Delta Green co-creator John Scott Tynes, this all-new collection of organizations presents ready-made sources of allies, enemies, mysteries, and surprises for your Delta Green campaign. You can purchase your copy now at drivethrurpg.com.
All right, the docks. Like I said, there's still a couple of assholes on the docks, but you know what? There aren't enough assholes on the dock or on that, barge to account for everyone who's in that boat.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I want to sort of scuttle enough that I can try to have I'm looking for threats to us.
Okay.
That's what it comes down to, right? I'm assuming those threats are were likeliest to come from the docks, but if they've already offloaded and are fanning
Yeah, there's
out
nobody
into
in their boat at this point.
if they're heading into the compound or whatever, then I want to sort of move until I can get a better view of where they're going to be if they decide to start trying to kill us.
Okay.
Why would they want to kill us?
There are
I'm
allies.
just planning contingencies.
Did you make an you made an awareness roll to say about those guys down on the docks? All right, unless they're so not Japanese merchant marine. These guys. You see some guys wearing what look like something almost looks like a turban wrapped around their head. There's guys with bandanas around their head. Looks like a mix of civilian clothes. A lot of short pants and sandals. A lot of guys who are just the only thing they're wearing on their above the waist is a couple of bandoliers of ammunition.
Yeah, okay, I'll yell out.
They're
I'll call
not our
out.
allies.
Great. Yeah. I'll call out to somebody tell the LT these look like pirates.
That's not a bad suggestion. So you were watching the gate, right? You're probably hearing that right about then. Let's roll this. All right. You hear him yell. Make me an awareness roll.
No crit fail.
Okay. That's not good.
All the records say you've botched this for everyone.
All right.
Killed us.
So,
I pulled a Charlie Sheen.
well, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to blame you for this because somebody yelled.
Sure.
Yeah, loudly in English. Yeah. So, give me awareness rolls now. Both of you. You're up in the right direction.
That was really good.
No. Fumble on my end that time.
Fumble.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
And I did
You?
well. Yeah, 19. I made 19 out of 75.
19 out of 75. All right. You were trying to look at the front, the gate of this place. What you're now seeing is instead of a group of men strolling up to the front gate, you now got a couple of guys who look like they've belly crawled because again it's a slope down. Look like they've belly crawled up to the front gate. Now there's foliage cut off on the sides of this thing, but again because it's a downward slope. If guys make their stealth rolls, they're able to slither up this thing and keep the cover of the slope until they get a little closer. And they've got about as close as they can get before they're gonna have to break cover towards the gate. And you see a couple little heads peeking up, trying to look in there. They're now trying to look into the compound to see who's the white guy who's yelling at the top of his lungs. What do you want to do? I mean, you could certainly open up with the BAR and possibly give some guy, give him a sunroof. That's not impossible.
Yeah.
When all else fails, strip the clip, says I.
I think
They
linemen's
they
looking for
have,
some.
they have been attacking our allies.
Right? See?
Yeah, I'll do a like a 5-round burst in that area where they're crawling through.
All right. Remind me how many pluses on percentage do you get per bullet you fire in your burst?
Well, you don't. I mean,
Okay.
it's just
lethality.
you can potentially hit 2 people or whatever if they're
Okay.
if
These
they're
guys are
pushed
close
together.
enough together that
You have like a 1 meter kill radius for a short, or 2 meters for a medium burst, 3 meters for a really long burst.
yeah. Then this is probably good enough then too. They're closer than they should be, but they're not so close that you could sweep 5 rounds across both of them. Go ahead and give me a roll on your. Let's see.
Heavy weapon?
I'm thinking BIR as a heavy weapon because it's an automatic weapon, and it is
Yeah,
a big
I would-
monster.
Yeah, I mean,
Weighs damn near 20 pounds.
Usually,
I don't know. I'm not familiar with how it operates.
It's a magazine fed 20-round magazine fed.
Right.
At this point, they still haven't put the bipod on it yet. That's I think World War II. They're still having people fire this thing from the shoulder
Yeah.
or from a specialized thing that you can put it in your belt and fire it like from the hip. It's like a really large. It's like if you took an M14 and gave it
I know it's kind
steroids.
of well, that's what I'm thinking. Is it sounds like it would be. I mean, I know it's kind of a hybrid of rifle and light machine gun, but it sounds more like a rifle.
As opposed to firing a Browning 1919 water cooled belt.
Right, or even a light machine, lighter machine gun than that.
You mean like the
know.
Lewis?
Yeah, yeah.
Lewis has a pan magazine. It's all weird.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the way I'd weigh it is the BAR closer to that or closer to an assault rifle.
It's let's go with the assault rifle option. Go ahead and roll into firearms.
Yes,
All right. What'd you roll? What out of what?
36 out of 55.
Even with the minuses for hitting that guy's head sticking up, because he definitely got some minuses for cover. We're going to call that good. Give me, I believe the lethality on that is 10%.
Yeah, it'd be 10% for a burst.
No, but I did 16 points of damage.
so you turn his head into a canoe.
I was
now
about
someone's
to
gonna have
say,
sink that
you-
ship.
yeah, there's the one guy sticking his head up, and all of a sudden, a 30-06 round with the ballistic force of probably the locomotive you keep looking for
Yeah.
drives through this guy's head. That makes the other guy duck down. He is nonplussed by the fact that his buddy probably doesn't exist from the nose up.
He's gonna need a new set of trousers.
Boom! Yeah, bring me my brown pants. Yeah. It was,
His head disappeared in a cloud of fine red.
Okay.
oh yeah, it's on. There's no mystery now that there's a problem.
So we're shooting people now.
Now we moved on to the shooting.
Who do I have to shoot?
Well, at the moment, you blew your awareness roll, so you don't have a target.
All right.
You guys hear the BAR open up. It makes a distinctive sound. in
Oh,
this time
because
period.
I've actually fired one of
Oh, you
those.
lucky
Yeah.
jerk. Was it a semi-auto or was it actually a full auto BAR?
Full automatic. We got them from the Rough Puffs in the Ville.
Who was this? Were these the militia guys for the strategic hamlets?
Yeah, but God, were they good? Because it was their land, their homes they were defending. They had old World War II weapons.
I've seen those M1 carbines all over the place.
Oh, they love those M2 carbines. Those are cool weapons, by the way. But the BAR, wowzers. First of all, that thing weighs a ton.
And these guys are not huge, and yet they're slugging it around.
Oh, yeah, they're lugging it around. It was considered an honor to carry the thing. Right? Well, one of our guys sported the nickname Tiny because he was your size.
Every tiny is,
Exactly. Can I see something?
every slim weighs 100 pounds.
Yeah, no, he took a crack at it and he loved it. He said that was a sweet piece of machinery, especially when he cut a palm tree down with it.
The only thing's wrong with those things is it's a 20-round magazine.
Yeah.
You're done in 2 bursts. It's like, "Huh?" So you're doing your impersonation of Steve McQueen in the Sand Pebbles. You guys hear the BIR open up. What do you want to do with yourselves? The lieutenant's like, go, hold them off a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Flail. So he flails hopelessly in another room.
I mean, I'll move to that side of the building.
All right.
Try to see what's
Yeah.
going on.
All right.
There's going to be somebody needing first aid soon.
Yeah, well, I think somebody.
So far,
well, he doesn't
so far,
really.
no.
He doesn't. But
The
soon.
guy next to him may need counseling.
Soon.
Yeah, he's beyond all such considerations.
All right.
And I guess because this is a 1910 to 20s action movie, I'm going to rack the shotgun for effect.
And then rack it later.
Just for
No,
effect.
all that means is
yeah.
that you've lost another a shell. Yeah.
Keep hoping that one time that would happen. In a
Right.
film. Of course, you can't when you've got another round in it. You can't round. You have to push down on this
Another button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way you can actually do something that stupid, which is a shame. Because the best part about these Winchesters, they have hammers. Why did we lose the hammer? Why did we lose the hammer on the shotgun? Every shotgun now, I can't tell whether it's cocked or not. I got to handle it. You know.
I mean, you can look in the
Yeah,
back.
if I just look down the
Yeah,
barrel
yeah,
while I'm
yeah,
filling
yeah.
You
it.
see
I love those 97s with the half-cocked position. It's just one less way I can kill myself with a firearm. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I've got a Mossberg 500 at home, a
I-
riot model with the 7-round.
I do too, but again, I don't like the fact that it's got no exposed hammer. I would much rather be able to visually check the weapon is ready to be operated. You know.
Yeah.
I don't keep them loaded. But you know, I always have that fantasy that the bullets will migrate across the shells, will migrate across the house and load themselves. You know.
You know, I was wondering, I backed the Henry Darrow movie at the level where I get like a 2-minute Glancy rant.
Did you just get it?
And I think I'm going to actually officially request a hammerless shotgun Glancy rant.
That
see
would
what we
be.
get.
I have material. You've heard most of the good stuff,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
but others need to hear it. Yeah.
All right. At this point, you now have guys who are using. There's more heads popping up, except they're not just popping up heads. They're popping up rifle barrels, and they're shooting into the compound. They definitely saw where you were because that was not a surprise that they knew where you are. But these guys are. There's like, let's see here. Let's just make a nice randomizer. See how many. There's like 7 heads popped up, and firing from different positions. They're not really close enough to walk fire across them unless you want to walk a full 15 rounds and maybe you can get 2 of them because they're fairly spread out. But they're definitely decided that it's time to pour a bunch of bullets into your direction. What's your dex?
My dex is a 13.
What's your dex?
17.
These guys do not require awareness rolls anymore since there was gunfire. They're coming from basically the same direction, but they're using cover rather than strolling through the country. Go ahead and you get your first shot at these guys. These guys are changing position. Go ahead and give me a roll with your Springfield.
Okay, so can I tell are any of them better armed or seem smarter or more leaderish than
Give
the
me
others?
give me an awareness roll. As you
Success.
okay, you're seeing a mix of single shot rolling block rifles like what was it called? The one from Zulu. I've forgotten. Single shot.
Martini
old-
Henry?
Springfield.
You're right. Is Martini Henry. You're seeing things like old Springfields would be the rolling blocks. You're seeing single shot Mausers and things like that. Sort of. There are some lever action rifles in this mix. This is not a unit that was equipped. Everybody's got his own personal stash. But there's a lot of long arms. There's
All right. So is there anybody that's obviously like telling people what to do?
you made your awareness roll. You can hear somebody yelling from behind things to do. There's noise coming from down the slope where these guys are blah 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 blah, and these guys sort of scurried up, dropped into position.
Is there a reasonably safe way that I could get out from under this dumb building and move through the trees and around to
Nope.
see them below their slope?
The way you would have to do that from this position would be to go east towards the beach. The beach, the administrative compound, from what I can tell from the maps, is higher. Obviously, it's higher than where the docks are. This dock for the road from the docks comes up to the administrative compound. That there's actually like a rock wall that goes down, and then there's beach. They're here. So these guys have come up this way. If you went this way, you'd have to go down a rock wall.
No,
And then there's the
suck.
whole compound this way.
Right.
And you guys are at a corner of this compound, very close to the gate. You're within 100 yards of the gate.
Yeah.
So, closer to 50.
Am I within sight of the gate?
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. I'll pick out the one that has that looks like he has the nicest rifle.
It's bright sunshine out. You're firing smokeless ammo, and I don't know how much muzzle flash there is for a Springfield, but I don't suppose it's a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah.
So good luck.
All right. And that's a miss.
Bang! Whiz! The crack of a supersonic round goes over their heads.
Yeah.
Your turn.
So they're starting to shoot back a little bit. I want to get the kind of volume of fire back on our side. So I might just give it a long burst and
Empty the magazine?
Yeah.
All right, well, that will definitely give them something to think about. Let's see, just pick out 2 assholes at random. Go ahead and give me your shot. All right, you succeed.
big one. Yeah.
What out of what?
5 out of 55.
Oh, I really wish you were playing Call of Cthulhu. That's green. All right, that's 2 guys in. Go give me kill damage on both guys.
4 damage. I didn't make the lethality, right? Was it 10%?
Yeah, lethality should be 10%.
Yeah, 31. So it's 4 damage.
4 damage, and the other one, there's 2.
Oh, no, and 13 damage.
Okay. That didn't do. Somebody's unhappy. There's somebody unhappy, and they're discussing how unhappy they are, probably cursing in Malay or Indian or Arawak or whatever the languages are down here in the South Pacific that people complain in when they've been shot. One guy's not complaining. He just nods his head forward. Next combat round, somebody will grab him by his ankles and jerk him down below the edge of the thing. The first guy gets shot and just rolls out of sight. Let's start doing some counterfire.
Got a question.
Sure.
Okay, here's what I want to do. Scott, pull.
Oh, all right.
Throw.
That will take a couple of rounds. Also, what's your strength? I can't remember what the range on grenades is. It's like
Put it at I think
something times
20.
strength times what?
No, we didn't base it on strength.
Oh,
Keep
okay.
things simple.
All right.
I think we
20
just put it
what,
at
meters?
20 meters base range.
All right.
So beyond that, up to 40, it would be at a.
Okay,
penalty
my
for your
strength is
athletics.
16.
We're not. That's an old Call of Cthulhu
Yeah,
rule.
so you'd use your athletic skill to.
Oh,
to put
well,
it where
that's
you want
even
it.
better.
And don't forget a plus 20 because it's an explosive weapon.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Okay. So it's your athletics plus 20.
It's 60 is my basic athletics.
Yeah, so 80% chance to get it where you
All
want
right.
it.
Now
or-
the problem is you're in a building. You're gonna have to prepare the grenade this round.
Yep.
And throwing it means either throwing it out a window. You fumble it, you bounce it off the window frame, and it lands on you.
Yep.
In the room with you. Or you go out of the building and you can't possibly, throw it on yourself. I suppose you could just drop it into the dirt or whatever. But it's going to be trickier lugging it out the window. It'll be easier throwing it outside, and you're still going to have to take a combat round to pull the pin.
That's all right.
This round, you're pulling the pin, or you're going to change your position? Because right now you're in a window looking out. You're in the same room as he is.
Yeah, I'm going to start moving towards him.
All right. I'm just telling. Okay. I hope to God we don't get a fumble and then blow up half the party. But all right. Grenades always scare the shit out of me, sir. I'm telling the guy who went to Vietnam that grenades scare the shit out of me.
I have a funny
Hey,
grenade
I
story
tell
for
you
after.
what, though, what was scary is the South Vietnamese soldier thought he was going to be really clever, comes up to the thatched hut,
Oh no.
pulls a pin on the grenade, tosses it in, and flattens himself against the thatched wall.
Oh
He
no.
flattened himself all right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
No, that was definitely not good.
That's a
By the
sad
way,
story.
I'm disappointed. No claymores.
Well, we're a little early for claymores. At least not the explosive kinds. I'm not saying you can't wade in with an actual claymore like that crazy fucker at D-Day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Mad Jack Churchill.
let's go ahead and let's see here. What are you doing while he's prepping a grenade?
Can I see the gate? Like, what's my range to the?
No, you got a shotgun, so you got a little bit more reduced range. It's right now. It's about 50 yards to the gate.
All right. Well, they don't necessarily know that I've got a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
So I.
Just make noise.
Yeah, well, so I don't really want to. I mean, I had concealment-ish and sort of covered behind the window area.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume I can't leapfrog to another building and get closer and stay in cover.
You can absolutely. There is inside the wire. There is a sort of a guard shack position that's by the gate. But the first thing you run into coming through the gate is this sort of. I'm sorry, you guys went into the. You guys didn't do that. Actually, go into the headquarters building. You went into the archaeologist's building. Mm-hmm. There is a headquarters building that you could work your way to closer if you wanted. Yeah, you could do that.
And can I do it in one round? So
now, one of the problems is that in the way these buildings are positioned is that while you've got some visuals on the gate from where you are at the moment, these guys get through the gate, you got a visual on the outside of the gate. If these guys get through the gate, that stupid headquarters building is going to be between you and them. They're going to be able to maneuver behind that structure. Except for the problem where it's up on stilts and you can just shoot their legs up from under them with the PR. They're running around all those other buildings.
So I realize
a good option.
I don't want to leave the lieutenant by himself. So
He's not by himself. These two guys are in the building.
You're underneath.
No, he's underneath.
Oh, you're
I'm
underneath.
underneath.
Yeah. All right.
So
I want to find.
Am I underneath that building or a different?
I think you're underneath the headquarters building.
Yeah. Okay.
So
the direction that the handing grenade's generally going to go in.
So I know they're beyond the effective range of the shotgun, but I want to blast around, just try to keep just fire to suppress, essentially.
Okay.
Try to keep some heads down.
Go ahead and make me a firearms roll then.
42 out of 55, so that's good.
Okay. Certainly the pellets go in the right direction. Perhaps they kick up some dirt around these guys.
Keep people's heads down. Nobody's going
to... At 50 yards, I'm not sure what kind of damage you're going to do with a hit like that. Do you roll it in the divide, or do you just usually roll a small die?
It goes from...
I should know the rules.
I think it's 40. Isn't it 40?
Yeah, I think it's 2d6 at that range instead of 2d10.
All right. Go ahead and roll me 2d6.
6.
All right. Wow. Okay. You have discomforted somebody. Yeah. Nobody wants to lose half their hit points in a single attack.
I wouldn't want to lose that.
All right. Going around the table that way. Let's do some counter fire. 89. 90. God,
keep them coming.
They're all getting their marksmanship badges. That would be a success, except he doesn't have a 55 in that skill. All right, so much for that impale.
They're just pirates.
There is return fire. Bang, 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 bang. Rounds go through the building that you're in, in one wall and possibly out the other. You were obscured, so there's some minuses to hit you, but there's no armor factor involved. Same thing with you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, starting up with Dex 17, 13. What's your Dex there, Frank?
12.
Yeah, 12.
12, okay.
11.
And you're 11? Gee, did I actually arrange you in Dex order?
Yeah.
All right.
You planned that, right?
Yeah. Now, the nice thing I like about this is that we're still firing bolt-action rifles once every round, right?
Yeah.
Because, holy crap, they're faster than Call of Cthulhu tells us they are. 6 seconds to no.
Yeah. No, we abstracted it a good bit, but it's basically just one attack roll around unless there's some extenuating circumstance.
So you get another attack roll on these guys. You are reloading this round.
I'm gonna drop my belly if I can and do it like out of the window on flat on the ground.
Got it.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Whoever has a
likely-looking fella.
Yeah, accurate-looking gun.
You just saw them fired. None of them have accurate-looking guns.
Well, looking. So that's a hit.
With a Sharps rifle, especially if it hits you.
Yeah. And that'll be 13 damage.
Come on, God.
0.
I
Ow.
was going to say sharp. Actually, the thing is with the Springfields, the trapdoors, they should actually be called the Allens because it's the Allen conversion. Because that was a Civil War.
Oh, you're talking about the ones
right,
with the
the
old
original.
muzzle. Yeah.
Yeah, the original spring. Yeah.
Yeah, trap.
The somebody down there, you know, he's not going to go home and get to see his kids. You know,
We're real broke down with
you've
that.
retired somebody.
Am I supposed to feel sorry about that?
Not really. No. You haven't even gotten to see these guys close up yet.
Yeah.
All right. There's the fire has died down over there since we've had like I think 4 guys tagged. 1, 2, 3, 4 because you hit the first guy. You managed to tag a guy. That was 5. Yeah, fire has died down considerably. Yipes. Oh my god. The cultists are having a shit day. So, Dex, what would you like to do about this hand grenade?
Throw it if it's ready to go.
Where would you like it to land? In front of these assholes? Behind these assholes?
In the middle of these
Well,
assholes.
we don't know what's. I mean, there's the 2 heads that are sticking up that are not anywhere near each other. They're since the sort of.
It's
fire-
okay. Grenades are not a precision weapon.
All right, fine. But I wanted to know if you wanted to like overshoot the slope and have it roll down the back of the slope.
Yeah, just surprise.
Okay, it's in there somewhere amongst them. You'd like for distance.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll, sir.
That's a good roll.
9.
Yeah, it's a 9.
Well, it goes where you want it to. The grenade disappears. You hurl the grenade, it flies out, it manages to get over the damn fence, and then it goes down somewhere behind these guys who are shooting. It'll blow up next round. I'm sure that when it lands, there's like a hurrah, only not happy that comes up, And as it goes over there, would you like to fire some buckshot downrange?
Yeah.
All right,
Again,
go ahead and give me a roll.
Keep it trying to suppress, essentially. That's a 9.
Oh, all right.
That should hit.
Yeah, go ahead and give me 2d6.
6.
Okay.
Great, if I attack the same guy, take him out.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. I'm just trying to keep them down, keep them pinned down, let these guys do their
The
work.
guys who are shot, my presumption is that when they're shot, they get off the firing line. Nobody's gonna go. Nobody's.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take somebody new. I have no preference.
Yeah. So here's what happens next this combat round. Nobody is shooting back. But the grenade goes flying over, and the first thing that happens is there's a terrible sound of shock and disappointment, about how the choices that they have made in their lives that have brought them to this place. And then there's a roar, and it looks like these assholes are going to try and run away from the grenade towards you. The guy who was laying down that you had not shot is actually, he saw the grenade go overhead, and his response was to try and scramble forward and use the slope as some sort of defense from all the shrapnel that's going to be flying around. Go ahead and give me a kill damage roll, please, of 15% or less will kill some fuckers.
That's still gonna kill some fuckers.
What do you roll?
69.
69, so
Okay,
15
well,
damage.
it's dirty, but okay. Grenade explodes. It flat out kills at least one guy over there, but you don't know about it because you don't get to see it. However, the rest of the shrapnel peppers a lot of other people. Let's see how many people get out of the way of... Wow, that is sad. All right. As far as people trying to run up the slope and get out of the way of the grenade by running forward, the one guy's laying on his belly is just getting up to stand up. 2 other guys come running up the slope, firing their weapons as they come. You were reloading last round. Oh dear. You're reloaded. Grenade goes off. Boom. The screaming both quiets down and gets louder simultaneously. The way that our small explosives do to crowds of people. I guess we're going dex rolls. Who wants to shoot one of these poor dumb bastards running straight at you?
Yeah, I guess. If they insist. That's a critical hit.
Do we really need to roll this?
That's half the fun.
We do need to roll.
We do.
All right, so that'll be 4, 9. That'll be 13 damage.
Well, you're shooting at a 5'2", 109-pound Malaysian fella. That didn't go well for him. You can see through him now. Boom!
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. He drops like a stone. Just face plants. Boom! Right there in front of the
Yeah, like that scene from Judge Roy, Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean.
Yep.
Bad Bob.
That was Stacy Keach's finest moment on screen.
I think so too.
So is there only one, or there
There's
two?
still there's one getting up, who's starting to stand up, and the grenade went off. Whether he's been peppered or not,
He's just kind of disappeared in dust and.
no, there's not that much. I mean, the grenades. I mean, it's weird. It's like a fire. I mean, my experience of grenades and seeing them used in training films is that it's like a firecracker, and then everybody's hurt. I mean,
Yeah, it's not very big.
there's no.
It's not a gas explosion.
You know what I mean? There's no fireball from Michael Bay. There's just this thing that goes off, bang, and then everybody's, oh, look, we all have hemorrhaging. Yay. It's really creepily, it's really understated. I was really shocked by how small grenades seemed going off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I think our biggest problem over there in the Nam was Hollywood didn't make her hand grenades. Those damn things are going off like 155 rounds on the silver screen.
Yeah, that's what I remember from Rat Patrol, is that you could throw a grenade at a German tank and the whole German tank would explode. That's what I remember.
They make good poop geysers of poop water, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Latrine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen some. I don't know what they threw over the side, but there's some fresh from Russia guys throwing a grenade over the side of a boat to, for whatever reason, and it practically capsizes the boat. That's because it's pushing water, not air, kids. It's different than when it goes off in the air.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll just concentrate fire. I'll do a short burst of the one,
Okay.
and that's actually a miss by 7%.
Okay. You fire a bunch of bullets. They go that way. Frank, having thrown your grenade, what would you like to do now? You have a shotgun. You have a pistola.
Well, I still got rounds in the shotgun, so I'm gonna ka-track, and I got somebody to shoot at.
Go ahead and give me a roll.
Yeah.
If I get two fellas to take a shot at.
All right, this is 0-4.
Again, that's good. Give me a 2d6 damage at this range.
7.
7. Ow. That's shitty. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes,
Okay.
it goes up to 2D, whatever, 2D8, 2D10, at sort of pretty
Yeah.
close, 10 meters or 20 meters or whatever it is.
He's hit by pellets, but he's still up. Would you like to do something about that?
Yeah. I'll take a
Go ahead and give me a roll.
95 is going to be a miss.
Boom. You pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that going for you. You had that going for you. All right. This one poor maniac is running toward the camp. He goes through the front gate, closing range with you people.
Chariots of Fire music's playing in the background.
Yeah. This may turn out more like a Gallipoli with whoever wasn't Mel Gibson running at the Turkish trenches.
I have to restrain my Delta Green. If I was a Delta Green agent, I would tell this guy to drop his gun, put his hands up. But I realized I'm not. I'm a Navy guy who wants to be a Marine. This guy's done. Surrender is not an option.
Okay, 70 and 79 is not good. Two guys. There's a couple of incoming rounds. You guys, they don't come in. This guy fires his weapon. The bullet goes, I don't know, somewhere. It doesn't go near you. Who wants to shoot this poor bastard? Actually, everyone give me an awareness roll.
Yeah.
Nope.
Fumble.
Okay,
Nope.
you only see that guy.
Yeah.
You only see the guy you shot. Did you make it?
No.
Okay, you didn't make it. You did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You are you're seeing some guys who are down along the edge of the fence. That's right now you're sort of at the corner, which is facing the faces east and south, and that's where the gate is, technically in the south side of the fence. And you guys are all sort of pointing basically south, with the ocean to your left. You're seeing guys cut through you're seeing some guys now. 3 guys who have come up, and they are apparently did not bring any bolt cutters or wire cutters with them, but they are attempting to hack the chicken wire fence down with some sort of bladed weapons.
Oh, okay.
And they are maybe 150 yards down away from you. They're sorry, maybe 150 feet away, maybe 50 yards away.
Yeah. All right, yeah, I'll kind of
Down the fence,
I'll
which
kind
makes
of
them
scoot around sideways and
right.
plug one of them.
all right. The rest, because they're not making gunshot noises, the rest of you do not see them. So you go ahead. I guess you don't have to roll to reposition. You don't take a turn repositioning yourself.
That's your call.
I'm going to make you go ahead and do that because you're on your belly,
Okay.
and it's like you see it this way, and it's not a matter
Sure.
of just I'll roll to my side.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know.
No, that's fair.
You're still facing the guy who ran through the front gate and is running straight at the building at this point, and is kind of wild-eyed and maniacal, having, he's all full of adrenaline and, whatever else you have when you're in shock from your been shot with buckshot. What do you want to do with this poor fellow?
I want to fill him with some bullets and
All right, go ahead and
go
make
with
the
that
roll.
adrenaline. No, I missed again.
Oh my God! This is gonna be. He gets in the building with you.
Charge
I
of the
have-
light brigade here.
Yeah.
If he gets in the building with you, you
somebody
guys
gets
just
to
sit him
be a
down in
hero.
a corner and go, "Good work."
That's right.
You know,
Get this guy a medal of honor.
Let me tell you about the program.
Congressional
You
Medal
thought
of
about joining the
Frankie
Marines.
is now in. I'm going to say he's close enough that it's looking like 2d8 if you make contact with this guy. Bink.
Booah.
Go ahead and give me a roll.
Meet my friend, Mr. Mossberg. Or not.
Blam. Whee.
Yeah, it's Neo.
All right, let's see if
He's
I
just dodging the bullets at this
The,
point.
Right, hit 33,
one
critical.
thing-
33?
Critical hit.
33.
Yeah. So that's a
I guess
critical
that's,
success.
I guess that's 48 at this
The,
range.
the advantage of those shotguns, though, is
Oh,
that
no.
they
No,
give you a
I'm
bonus
sorry.
to hit.
Stop. This guy's run far enough that he's got I'm going to put the damn building between, Yeah, he had 2 rounds running.
I'll shoot,
No,
his-
I
I'll
can't
shoot
do
his
it.
leg
I
out.
can't do it. He'd be behind the building this round, but I'm going to go ahead and say
I'll shoot his legs out.
I'm just going to let the shotgun, the critical hit shotgun thing, do its job. It's 48. I don't know how you're going to not kill him, but you could always roll 4.
12.
No, that is
Not great, but
that is
still
not
enough.
That is not 4.
Yeah.
Okay, he nosedives. He gets the buckshot and then flies out of your visual range behind the building he was trying to get to for cover. Hooray! One of the things about shooting their legs out from under him, you got to be on the same level. You have to be down where he
That's
is.
true. That's
Since you're up on this, you wouldn't be. Their legs would be protected.
You shoot the ground, you ricochet the buckshot up into him.
I'm sure that will work because nothing ricochets like dirt. Yeah, that's my favorite thing when you hear the ricochet noise in a movie when it's hitting dirt.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it sounds like they just bounced it off the inside of a concrete bunker. I'm like, yeah, that's not the sound that it makes at all. I'm almost positive.
I was watching one of the James Bond movies last night, and there's a helicopter that's like on fire, and you hear the Stuka dive bomb noise. You're just like, come on.
I know exactly.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're talking. You Only Live Twice.
Yeah, Roger Moore Bond. Yeah.
The
no.
volcano base, right?
No, I think this was a different one. This was. Yeah, either way.
I remember the Stuka noise in the helicopter fight in You Only Live Twice.
It's when he picks the guy in the wheelchair up and drops him.
Oh, you're right.
Which
that
is like so comical.
Yeah.
Because he's like, let me go. Okay. He goes
Really?
like-
You're gonna get rid of
he goes like,
Blofeld
"Whoa."
like in a Wile E. Coyote thing?
Yeah.
Who the fuck? Who wrote that shit? Was there a writer's strike? Fucking hell! It's Blofeld, and you're gonna. No, never mind. I can't even. They failed. They failed by not getting Idris Elba to be the next Bond. Is how they failed. Holy crap! With that accent.
Yeah.
It's gonna fail. Anyways, moving along. You have repositioned yourself. You're through half a mag. You're 2 shotgun shells and a grenade down. You're what, 3 shotgun, 4?
Give or take.
Yeah, this would be a pretty good time to start reloading because you got 1 round in the chamber, folks. Always, and you are on your what round? This might be 5.
I've shot 3.
Okay. Just keep track of that stuff because I gave you actual lists of ammo for a reason.
Yep.
You may have.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and ka-chunk.
I think it's 2 rounds per combat round. Reloading.
Yep. So that
for that kind of magazine.
tubular magazine.
Yes. All right, you will be able to get a shot at these guys over by the fence. There are 4 of them. You have 2 bullets.
Yeah.
It's a shame I don't
line
have
them up.
I don't have one of those Saiga.
Twofer.
She better have one of those Saiga Assault 12s from Russia.
Sadly, we're gonna have to wait a couple more decades. First, they have to they've become commies. Then you have to wait for them to come up with a. They do have some lovely semi-auto weapons at this time, though. Just not a lot of them. Did he hit?
Yeah, that plugs one of them, wings one of them for 4 damage.
Okay.
Well, they know you see him now.
Yep. So they will attempt to return fire by first using their awareness. Not very. Oh, here we go. Okay. 2 guys are looking around. Ow, my arm! And has dropped the cutlass or whatever it was, or saber or scimitar. He's knocking a hole in the knocking the fence down with. It's partially chopped away because again the wire is just snapping under the weight of what he's hitting it with.
Right.
But at least one guy sees where you're at, and he is going to attempt to return fire with a 74. Whee! Bang! The bullet goes somewhere, but it's not in use. That's all you care about. Let's see here. I need awareness rolls from you guys as well. All 3 of you.
91. Not gonna make it.
Yeah. 11, so quick fit.
Okay.
Success.
93. God. Lucky
You're the only
me.
one who notices this. Somehow, corner of your eye, whatever, you're seeing a couple of boats from Leilu Island that are disappearing out of your sight. That are sort of coming into the area. They're disappearing out of trees that are in the way. They're probably coming into that dock there.
All right.
You're thinking that there's something like maybe as many as 30 assholes.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, I'll yell. Like, we gotta think about moving.
Yeah, there's a lot. In fact, each of these boats probably had something in the range of 30 assholes, and you've made a lot of them into mincemeat. There's no doubt about that. There's plenty of guys you haven't even met yet. How do you lay eyes on who are all going, my butt hurts, I have shrapnel in it, Yeah, they're not having a good time. So, would you yell out a warning to the effect?
Yeah, I'm pretty much saying we gotta go. We're gonna get overrun. Pretty much yelling to everyone.
Yeah, LT.
Let's see here. You basically this combat round get to listen to him go, what do you mean overrun? What do you mean overrun? Was he
More boats, more assholes.
all right. The lieutenant gives what, again, not exactly the master of land combat. He would not know how to announce a sort of firing retreat.
I have a whistle. The only one's really far away is him, right? Like he's kind of like
he's maybe 20 yards off tops.
yeah. I'll blow a whistle.
Okay. There is a signal for retreat. That's not a problem. You can hear that. So again, the firing retreat exists. It's just not turned into the drill that it is today. But throwing as many hand grenades as possible over your shoulder while as far as you can throw them while laying down as much fire with the BAR would seem to be advised.
How far am I from the? Would you say 50 yards?
It's about 50 yards from the
between
guys.
me and those guys.
Mm-hmm. That's uncomfortably close for combat.
Yeah.
It's this
All right,
it's this
so-
slope. It just lets them get too close.
Yeah. Well. Okay. So what I want to do is kind of crawl out from under this building, and then ready. I want to not be exposed, like in there, directly exposed to them. I want to be behind, as much behind cover concealment as I can be, so they're not. I'm just like, hey, here I am.
The big heavy wooden stilts that hold the building up, and they go all underneath the building.
So I'm basically just like crouching like that, so I'm
And
not
then there's the
a
staircase.
dead obvious.
There's the wooden staircase
Sure.
that comes down the front, and that provides some visual blockage as well.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Whatever's close. I'm not trying to maneuver a lot. I just don't want to be, easy. And I want to be getting a grenade ready to hurl at those 4 dudes.
All right. The bad news, and as if there was any good news, the bad news is to get out of here. Running across that open field again is that's just a shooting gallery.
Yeah.
The best retreat is probably to retreat north along the eastern edge of this place, because there are these buildings there, and use those buildings for cover, and then get out of the compound and into the woods or into the jungle to the north. That doesn't put you exactly in a straight
And
line.
my assumption is that when our people start retreating, these dudes over here at the fence will be able to shoot at them.
Yes, they will.
That's why I'm trying to grenade them.
Okay. All right. To throw a grenade, you'll have to emerge from underneath this building. You cannot.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm kind of crawling out and then trying to kind of hunker down
Okay.
behind
The
corner of it or whatever I can manage.
I would say that if you were at the northwest corner, that is to say, pillar that's at the northwest corner of the building, that's some decent cover. That's something a bullet's not going to go through.
Could I try stealth to, get come out in a shadow or something like that?
If you stealth, then the 2 guys who didn't see you might not see you this round, but the one guy who did see you will still be able to shoot you because you're in shadow. It's a bright sun overhead and it's
Yeah.
black underneath that
Well,
building.
anyway,
But
I want to do my best to not be a target.
all right, go ahead and roll into your stealth. If you succeed, then maybe one of those guys will have a harder time picking you out.
Yeah, that succeeds.
All right, you're still going to get at least one guy shooting at you.
Yeah.
But the other 2 guys who didn't see you last round because they didn't see where the bullet came from, they're going to have to make awareness.
As long as I can get a 20-point benefit of cover or concealment, that's as much as I can.
You'll take your
ask
20%
for.
and live with it. Okay. All right. So cool. All right. You still got half a magazine. What are you going to do with it? Again, you've called out that this is a problem. You're not seeing any more guys coming up that front door. They seem to have given up on that option. What are you going to do with your BAR?
I'm pretty much thinking to lay down cover fire, yelling at them to bomb back.
Okay.
Get somewhere where they can.
Do you want to burn up a full 10 rounds or just a full 5 rounds? Because there's going to be a point where there's going to be a lot of running, and do you want to empty this magazine?
No, yeah. As long as we have a little bit of the volume of fire on our side, I'll just say like a 5 round.
Okay. Give me an awareness roll to see if you can come up with a target to hit, because again, they're not really sticking their heads up.
Yeah, crit.
Crit?
Yeah.
Well, there's those 4 assholes over the fence, cutting a hole in the fence. You can shoot them, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's 4 of them and they were bunched up, you might as well use the full 10
But
rounds.
no.
Nope.
No. Actually, I fumble.
Oh, you fumble. Excellent.
I've heard that bar loves to jam.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's. Let me give me a luck roll, please. Under 50.
Yeah, so I got 30.
Okay. You do in fact get a jam. And clunk. They don't know it's a jam. They just know a bunch of bullets flew at them. How many rounds did you fire?
I was going to do, so I had half the magazine, so I was going to do 5 round.
Okay. You jammed after 2 rounds. You get to spend next round clearing that jam. What are you going to do with yourselves? He says more guys are coming. Then he shoots some bullets.
Okay.
We've heard the whistle for retreat, right?
Yeah.
Yep, we're out of here.
Okay. Where do you want to leave this building? Going out the front door could expose you to fire. Going through a side wall, that is to say the north wall, just straight through out a window, would definitely mean less being seen by people. That would put a building between you and the problem.
Go out through the north wall.
All right.
Yeah, and I Well, so I don't really know. Well, I hear shooting, but I don't know who's still alive. So I'm assuming it's still the guys at the front gate. So I guess the north wall is the best place to go.
Yes, that would be.
Technically, I really wish you out the east, but I don't know that.
Yes, you're right. You're right. If you
Yeah.
went out the east wall, anyone coming in through the south wall would not get a firing solution.
So north is good. Is the lieutenant moving out? Or is he?
Yes. He is. He has stuffed a pile of crap, and he's now leaving the office carrying something that looks like a doctor's valise, which he did not arrive with. That is like, there's like photographs coming out of it as he's running out of the office.
All right, I was going to drag him along if I had to, but if he's moving with a purpose, then I don't need to drag him.
He's like I said, he's slammed this overpacked valise shut and is heading out. Heading out of the building with you. So you guys are going. He might actually start. Hold on. He's going towards the front door.
Yeah, as I run by, I'll just kind of grab him by the cuff, and as I go, if I move out the window, I'll push him towards the one to the right next to it.
Fair enough.
Hopefully, he's not totally incompetent.
He's easily steered. He just was heading out the front door because it was the door he came in.
Yeah.
All right. You're repairing that. Let's see about counterfire. That asshole does not see you with a 93. That asshole does. How did I roll 293? Oh, wait a minute. Let's try that again. 98. 79. Wow, the cultists are having a shit day. And one of them gets to shoot at you. Ooh. Cool.
That sounds like a hit.
Let's see here. Oh. 2 points of damage. On a D12.
Okay, that's not nothing.
No, you felt that one. The jerk who saw you puts another round in your general vicinity and chews off a piece of your. Oh wow! You weren't using that ear. Bullet comes by, just absolutely slices your fucking ear off. Boosh! Got you full and undivided attention.
God damn it!
Would you care to respond? Would you care to retort?
Yeah, okay, so they're 50 yards out, which is...
You got one bullet in this.
Well, no, I've got a
that's right, you're
grenade,
prepping a
but it's
mag.
long range for a grenade. So I'm gonna spend just for that. I'm gonna spend this turn aiming, so I have to maximize my chances of blowing them all up.
Okay. You're give me a weapons use roll to unjam your weapon.
Yes.
All right. You were able to, whatever the problem was, whether it was a dead round or a misfeed, you make it work. You're one round down, so that means you've got 7 rounds left in this thing. You can fire next round. You guys are going out a wall or a window. You're now on the north side of the building, kicking out the wicker, the wicker roll down shade, out the window. I'm not going to make you roll jump or rolls or athletics to get out the window. It's just you fall down. It's
Okay,
not,
where are you at, Shane?
So I'm under or next to, at a corner of the
Headquarters
building, which I don't remember where that is in relation to.
It is a little further. It is south.
Okay.
Of the building for the archaeologists. You guys are on the north side of the building for the archaeologists because you got 2 buildings between him and you.
Okay.
Well, it's a little further into the compound.
I'm gonna just had an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pop a grenade back into that building because it's pretty
He's still in it.
Huh?
He's still in it. He's still in the building.
I'm gonna pop a grenade back on.
I'm gonna pop a grenade into the building. Nah.
All right. Well, are you gonna prepare a grenade?
No, actually, what I want to do is set the damn building on fire.
All right, that's fair. I'd say prepare a grenade. Maybe he'll get out of the building in a combat round or 2.
Let's go!
Do you you now have bullets in your weapon? Do you use them or do you flee?
He's still closer to the enemy than he's kind of like furthest back, right?
Yeah.
I need to give him cover fire so he can do what he has to do and get back.
Okay, go ahead and open fire, please.
No. No.
Okay.
No.
You kick up a lot of dirt around those guys.
And that's that for that.
That is that for that round. Oh, actually, no, wait a minute. Let's start over. You are aiming this round. You did some cover fire. You now have a live grenade that you prepared last round, and you were doing what?
I want to. So the next building north of the archaeologist building, I want to run to the north side of that so that I can turn and try to provide some cover.
Okay.
Such that it is with a shotgun.
All right. Then you are in motion. Let's see what the bad guys are up to. Okay. All right. A couple more rounds come your direction, sir. The guys who didn't see you clearly see you now.
Okay.
So those guys fired in.
Yeah.
Now let's see. Your focus is on those guys. You've gotten your round to aim. Would you care to throw your hand grenade?
Yeah. I was just looking up for sure what our range was on that thing. Sooner or later, it matters a lot. Base range 20. Okay, so base range is 20, and then they're 50.
So it's
out.
two reductions.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to be at minus 40, and with the aiming for plus 20 is at 90, so that brings it down to a straight 50%.
Okay. 50%. Who could ask for better odds?
Yep. And that's 35.
All right.
Take that.
Go ahead and give me 4 lethality rolls because
Sure.
there's 4 assholes and they're really clustered up.
8 damage, 12 damage, 11 damage, and instant death.
Everybody falls down. Grenade goes off on the inside the chicken wire. You know, boom! The shrapnel doesn't care about chicken wire.
Holy shit! What's over there?
Everybody falls down.
More shrapnel.
I would say that you have an awesome opportunity to leave the vicinity.
Yeah.
All right, you're rolling. Everybody's rolling out of here. All right.
We should run up the train track because we can make good time and we can go in that direction.
You really want to get inside the excavation?
No, but that's what
It's a great defensible position, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably like a cave or something.
I'm sure there's 2 exits. We won't
You know
get
what?
trapped
You know
like
what?
rats in a bowl.
You know what? The locomotive is there.
That's really
That's
where
what I
they're,
wanted this whole time.
It really is. You haven't stopped talking about those locomotives since you arrived. Perhaps there's even dynamite. We can load the locomotive with dynamite. Such a player character plan.
I've seen Ducky Sucker, you know?
Yeah.
That is exactly right. Bernie Casey. All right. I'm going to, because it's late, let's wrap this up. I would normally let you guys poke around on the island for many more hours, get into the horrible dig site, and explore all kinds of other things. But again, we are limited by convention, conditions. The rest of the scenario is basically a giant chase across the island. Can you get back to your boat and get off the island before something terrible happens? Before you get caught up to by this swarm of 60 to 90 cultists scouring the jungles looking for you. And it's a matter of, can you keep them at bay long enough with your grenades as they run out and your ammunition as it runs out to make it out of the jungle? There are a number of other options inside this haunted house of an island that are going on. There's other things that you can get into, but we're going to, like I said, wanted to try and streamline this as much as humanly possible. But this encounter is meant to be the first chapter of a campaign that's going to jump from decade to decade, showing you sort of some pre-Delta Green stuff, some stuff that happens so pre-Innsmouth. This is the pre-Innsmouth moment. There's a post-Innsmouth moment based on the Lovecraft rewrite Out of the Aeons that takes place sort of after that story shuts down. There is stuff for the 1940s when Delta Green is part of the USS and everything's awesome, and you'll get to do some dirt to some nasty Japanese secret police guys. What's the Kempetai guys, and some guys in the Black Ocean Society. They will be making an appearance, or Black Dragons as well.
By the way, there's also some circulating rumors that they had something called Unit 831.
Yeah, but
weaponizing the occult.
I still think that's up there with sort of the Vril society.
Yeah, I do
stuff.
too.
Yeah.
There's.
But there's
If I have to read another Japanese anti-mytho society, I'm going to blow my brains out. So,
Yeah, I mean,
we had a couple submitted for the groups contest we ran. and some of them were,
anti-mythos? What do you mean anti-mythos?
yeah,
No,
or
no,
mythos society.
These guys, no, it's flat out.
We had a couple submitted for the contest that we ran, none of the
Yeah, no,
opera,
I
and
had
they were very verbose. They're very good, but they were very
They went on for a
very
bit?
verbose. Yeah.
So
I had the one thing though you could say about Unit 731. There's at least 500,000 Chinese who can call in the ghost of their ancestors to talk about what happened to them. Not to mention the Allied POWs.
yeah, I'm not sure. And then no, my favorite part is that we let them walk for a whole bunch of scientific data that turned out to be horseshit.
Yeah.
We let them go. It wasn't like we got to the moon by pardoning, letting Werner von Braun off the hook. We got nothing out of that deal, except a bunch of unrequited Japanese fascists who are now involved in all the Japanese industry in the 50s and 60s.
The ones that are surviving, a lot of those old boys have kicked the bucket.
We should certainly hope so. So the rest of the scenario is basically a rush to get off the island. There are other options. There are many other ways that this thing can sort out. You can repair the radio station. Hell, you can call the Japanese and tell them to get over here with a destroyer or something. They'll be happy to steam over and sink the other ship, that's attacking the island. Yes, the island, Leilu, is filled with Japanese survivors who've all holed up on that island. There's guys who are partially damaged. There are guys who are partially insane. There are guys from some of the other outposts that have all decided to retreat to the island and hunker down there and wait until, the next mail boat shows up and they notice that they're overdue. Yes, the Japanese are digging up a Lovecraft-style archaeological site, something from before man's supposed to have existed. In this case, it's Mu. And it's a temple to Gatanatoa. And
Sort of figured when you described the corpses initially.
And what happened is that sure enough, there are creepy black dragon guys who are here in the archaeological team, whose job it is to find a way to weaponize this stuff for the emperor. And they're also analyzing the fact that there is a buried in the earth ancient temple with a power plant that they don't understand how it works. So they're a little interested in that as well. But the temple is dedicated to Gatanatoa. You also have Gatanatoa cultists in the Japanese unit. Because again, they went and found their occult specialists and didn't vet them very well. So the place is destroyed by slipping some footage of Gatanatoa from a summoning, or not physically summoned. You just get to see Gatanatoa through a mirror. But the whole thing is Gatanatoa is if a perfect image of Gatanatoa is created, it has the same effect as looking on Gatanatoa. So the film was Cecil B. DeMille's The Cheat, which oddly enough stars the Japanese actor who was Colonel Saito in Bridge on the River Kwai, playing the swarthy love interest in the story that the wife has an affair with. And it was super dirty for 1916. That's what the film came out. But the Japanese have, as part of their, entertainment for the troops who are stuck on this island, they brought in movies. Well, this particular movie, our villain has threaded in a section of Gatanatoa footage. And it doesn't do anybody who's sitting there watching it any good. There's a lot of sand damage. There's a lot of guys who are taking, it's not actually Gatanatoa, but I'm still taking 20 points of damage or whatever. There's guys who died. There's chaos and destruction on the base when that happens. Without getting into too much detail, the base is wiped out. except for the people who have who are Katana Toa occultists. They signal with the wireless. Come get the stuff. The place is safe. Smash up the radio. No one else can use it. The boat, the Saramaru, the crew on that was also destroyed because through another weapon that is associated with the temple that I will not get into. But the boat is full of mummies, and they just opened the sea cocks and let it sink to the. They just opened up all the valves and just let it sink. After they did that, after everybody on the ship was turned inside out. A few people managed to get to a lifeboat and took the one lifeboat they had off the Saramaru and got on it and tried to get to Phnom Penh, and did not work out. Did not work out for them. The storm wasn't any good. Most of them were already mummified or mummifying by the time they got in the boat, so bad news for them. There's a lot of plot hooks that were dropped. At some point, I was going to throw in some of Billy Hayes' treasure on the grounds that the Japanese were surveying the island for, harbors and portages. They just find the ship in that one harbor and hauled the silver out of the bottom. I think it's Spanish silver from Manila or something like that. There was going to be the whole thing where there's possibly these bags of silver in the bottom of the ship, the lifeboat, to get everyone excited. But essentially, it can come down to, the cultists load up their boat to leave. You can try and stop them. You can fuck up the barge. There's certain things they can't get off without the barge as the intermediary between the sailing ship. I've had players, go and radio in the Japanese to intercept the ship, and while the Americans stand off far enough to not really be involved, they just have the Japanese try and get these guys to pull over and show your colors, which they don't because they're Thanato occultists, and so they get sunk and everything goes to the bottom and everything and sort of zeroes out. But this is your first introduction that there's this thing that turns people into mummies, and it's some sort of weapon. And apparently it can kill you, apparently it can kill you with a movie. Eventually, under the second scenario, which takes place in 32, which is after Out of Hands happens, you find one of the mummies. You have access to one of the mummies that turns up because of an incident in the museum. The Navy doesn't know the mummy's there, it's just a mummy. But there's an incident in the museum where somebody dies like they died in 1919, and suddenly the Navy goes, oh shit, we should totally take a look at that, and that's the second scenario. And then again, we move on to World War II, the 50s, the 60s. 70s is where you're stealing Delta Green's files after the agency has been disbanded. You're going to do sort of a heist job. The first part of the scenario can be getting the components together for the heist, and then the last part is the heist. I'm not sure how much that I'm going to do. It may just start with the heist rather than make the players do the part where the
prep is all the fun part.
Well, it'd be the thing where you have to, can we find the book that tells us, how to look through a gate and see what's on the other side of the gate? Because otherwise, the guy who's making the gate just makes the gate and says, okay, go through and see if the gate opened in the right place.
Yeah.
And your players step through and they're on Pluto or whatever. If you can't see what's on the side, it's a crapshoot, depending on how the gate's open. Because that's how they're going to do the heist. You get in the vault with a gate spell. And that attracts all kinds of mythos fugglies. The 80s one is analog, which is about this shit turning up on VHS tapes. And the test bed for whether this stuff works is mailing it out to sort of underground and black market video stuff,
Yep.
And they need to test the system out, see how it works. So they've created some place that sells pornography through the mail, and so they can send out one tape to a customer, see how it works out. And the idea is that they're no longer, because of the way the human eye sees stuff and the way we watch film, the problem starts off where it's on film. But how do you get somebody to sit still and watch a film of Katana Toa until they die? Well, what if you can put the perfect image of Katana Toa in there at whatever the frame rate is for a normal projection, so you can slip the image into a piece of film. Now people will sit there and they're only seeing what they're watching, but underneath that, the image is still touching them, and they are still being slowly drained, mummified. Maybe in a slower way, but not even noticing until it's too late. Now we have cell phones, and everybody is carrying around their own little personal theater that they can watch. So the problem just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. The potential for it, the further you go down the line. So the idea is you play different Delta Green agents in every setting, and the information you picked up in 1919, 1932, 1940, all of that eventually adds up to the information you're going to need to stop the problem in 2019. And you get to decide whether you're going to do it as outlaws or the program. You know, because I'm sure the program won't use this as a weapon system. I mean, that would be wrong, right?
True.
So this is your first taste of it. This is your first taste of the Katana
It was
problem.
fascinating, man.
But
Definitely.
it's too big for a con, sadly. And frankly, so far the only one that's really been con-sized is the heist. I've been able to get through that in 4 hours or less. 3 hours one time at Gen Con. Did it for Ross Payton and those guys. One of the reasons I didn't run it on you guys is it's already going to be out there on tape, as is the 1932 one. They ran.
It's ironic that you're concerned about what's out there on tape.
Yeah. So you guys get the earliest version of this concept. It's before it's metastasized with our technology and gets worse and worse.
Right.
There are also Mythos delivery systems that are involved in this as well. But depending on how the scenario turns out, they never return as a problem, or they do return as a problem. But I had to rush you guys through this because, again, we all have to get to bed because we're old and creaky, and not full of meth.
Games to run tomorrow.
Yes,
Look,
we do.
math was an option. Nobody
told you about the meth?
Nobody.
Oh, I'm sorry.
come
we
on.
all voted, and they said no meth.
We had a quorum. That's fine.
I know that's a disappointment for everyone. But so that's basically what the Garden of the Medusa is all about. There's all kinds of other horrible things, like, you know, the name of the cultist ship is the Urale, which is one of the Gorgon sisters, and one of our Japanese. There's a possibility for running into one of the only surviving Japanese archaeologists is a Katana Toa cultist. You can run into him squatting in the jungle waiting for his buddies to show up.
Right.
You know? And that can be fun. And he's got a couple of islanders with him. They're the last members of the degenerate family on the island, who are the last cultists of Katana Toa, that no one will marry, no one will associate with anymore, and they're the weirdos that live in the hills.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really interesting ingredients there for a longer form kind of mini campaign, right? I mean, that
Even the island alone?
the island, yeah, oh yeah, no,
Yeah, there's
the,
definitely
the stuff
a couple
I
of
mean,
sessions for
there's,
sure.
oh yeah, I could see that being a 3 or 4 game thing,
Yeah.
because you're sort of digging into this and that and the other thing, and
They don't always-
I think the silver would be if you're planning on making it a long form thing. I think the silver would be fun because
As an option.
because then you have the option of your players kind of like, okay, what became of that silver, and that's how we started to fund Delta Green.
Yeah.
Was with
Are these
leftover
available?
Oh
silver
yeah,
that was
like
hidden away.
somehow Infinite was paid with this. This is-
Right,
It's
right.
all off the books. There's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
budgeted
yeah.
for this, or P4.
Yeah,
This is sort of the genesis of this is some of the genesis of P4.
something like that.
And then you play some P4 agents in the 30s, and then
But that's it's
Yeah,
going to
Peter,
be
where
it's going to be a pretty bulky scenario.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of good ingredients.
no, it's
The big challenge you have is that because as with every military scenario, if you've got one character that's the officer and everybody else is not, then the officer is officially the one with agency, with the ability to actually make decisions. So
might be better to keep the
Well, I
officer.
liked
as
it.
a-
or set it up so that the officer is kind of incompetent and not involved.
Yeah, that was perfect, 'cause then we get to make all the
and
decisions.
lets the just sort of like doesn't care, and lets the Marines and the corpsmen just do what they want.
Yeah.
Well, plus I felt like again I had to be all right. So you to leave the building, all right? Come on, like so give me
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
It added a little bit of
Yeah,
a,
but you have to kind of
Thinking
you'd have to kind of build that into it proactively, right?
Yeah, that's always been from my days with Twilight 2000. That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
people say, well, wait a minute, this is a military unit. My
Right.
character is a major.
Right, and I mean, also most players don't have military experience, right?
Right.
So
And-
they'll either err too far on the side of, well, fuck it, I'm the player, I'm going to do whatever I want, and there's no consequences or anything, and it doesn't feel
throw this-
right, or they err too far on the
let's
side
throw
of,
this out.
we all have to obey at all times.
If I leave
perfectly.
the officer on the boat, like you take the officer, and the officer doesn't want to go home
Right,
because
this is a
because
job. This is a job for the Marines. You guys can
and
handle it.
again, everyone here is. I would like to get promoted, not mummified.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to be the stalking horse to go fix the problem, right? There's limited communication between. There's no radio communication.
Right.
You're not going to get out the manpack radio like it's 1950 or whatever and call back to the boat.
Right.
You're going to be sent into a dangerous thing that you don't really want to be doing because it mummifies people. But somewhere on this island,
But you don't know that.
but there's somewhere on this island. There's also that silver.
Yeah.
So you rope in the people who wouldn't necessarily be thrilled about doing this, and maybe they probe deeper into the situation and turn over more rocks because they're looking for the silver. Yes, there's the thing that the lieutenant wants. Like, wouldn't it be great if you went to the Radio Shack and stole the code books that are there? Which is another thing you can make off with. You can steal Japanese naval codes, maybe the hook to keep the less military-minded players on the line is like this would be a lot of money, and then it could be our money, and then we wouldn't have to be in the darn Marine Corps anymore.
You're writing pre-gen, so you can build those motivations in.
Well, I certainly did in a con.
Take care of your
At least two
family
guys
or something.
came out of extreme poverty. So
Yeah.
but anyways, rather than continuing to bend the ears of the people who are not here and keep other people who are here up too late, let us all take a break and say that's all.
Thank you, everybody, for
Pagan of the
playing.
Mesa.
I hope you had a good time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for running.
Yeah, man, it's great.
This episode of Art Dream Presents was recorded live at the Omni Hotel at NecronomiCon 2019 in Providence, Rhode Island. Special thanks to Adam Scott Glancy, to our players Kevin Ham, Frank Fry, Timothy Duchesne, and Shane Ivey, and to Jesse Gorton of Necronomicon. Links to their work and to part 1 of this episode can be found in this episode's show notes. If you enjoyed this episode of Art Dream Presents, be sure to subscribe and give us a rating on iTunes or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. This episode's music is Narla Thotep by Darkest of the Hillside Thickets, courtesy Divine Industries. Copyright 2019. Visit www.thickets.net.